Good evening and welcome to Bucharest and the Arena Națională as the Romanian capital city hosts its first game of the tournament as France face Switzerland for the fifth time in a major tournament. Didier Deschamps' 2018 World Cup winners won Group F after a 2-2 draw with Portugal on the final match day, and we look to breeze through against Vladimir Petkovic's Swiss side, who finished third in Group A. Should Les Bleus live up to their reputation and form, having been unbeaten in their last 19 games, then they will be playing in their fifth consecutive quarter-final at a major tournament. Switzerland, on the other hand, have never got past the round of 16 in their last three major tournaments and were disappointing until the final group game. The Swiss are most certainly the close neighbours. Well, unsurprisingly, Petkovic has named an unchanged side from his side's 3-1 win over Turkey, so they line up as follows. In goal is Jan Sommer, a back three of Nico Evaldi, Manuel Akanji, Ricardo Rodriguez, and then it's Sylvain Widmer, Remo Freuler, Granit Xhaka, Stefan Zuber, Xherdan Shaqiri, Haris Seferovic, and as straight away here comes Kylian Mbappe into the box, taking on him. Elvedi needs some help. Elvedi did well to hold him up there. Plays it back to Andrei Rabiot, who's filling in at left wing back here for this game. This is Griezmann who sends the ball into the box and it's deflected away. That was a straightaway lively break from this French side, and I'll quickly run through their team. So in goal, it's Hugo Lloris, then it's Clement Lenglet, Rafa Varane, Presnel Kimpembe, Benjamin Pavard, Paul Pogba, N'Golo Kanté, Adrien Rabiot, Antoine Griezmann, Kylian Mbappe and Karim Benzema. So they are the two sides. Apologies about the late start, had some technical difficulties. Ball whipped in corner and Varane meets it. Towering header from the Real Madrid man, but he gets too much on it and it flies over the bar. But France making a good start as Kimpembe has hit the floor. It was a brilliant ball in and Varane met it, but it's got too much on the header in the end. Free header, he probably should have done better really. Poor defending from the Swiss. He loses his man, gets away from him. Akanji is nowhere near. Varane gets caught there as it happens. So 2 minutes in, it's France 0, Switzerland 0, and the PSG man is good to continue. In his 20th cap for France, had a really strong season for PSG, did the 25-year-old, and this is now, well, he's played in 9 of the Les Bleus' last 10 games. And there is Didier Deschamps. This is now his 117th game as France boss, and he is now, well, the most managed the most games for a French manager. This is Switzerland coming into the game now, just inside the French half to Granit Xhaka, the Arsenal man who looks to be on the verge of a move to Roma. Back to Elvedi, who plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach, and Xhaka first time round the corner for Breel Mbolo, who scored. Well, Haris Seferovic is going to get there first, does well, finds Mbolo, and Mbolo can't quite win it in the box. Might come for Widmer, comes out to Shaqiri, and Shaqiri's held up, and now he sends a great ball in the box. Shaqiri, Pavard gets there, heads it away, and it's going to be a corner to the Swiss. So lively start to this one, but it is still France 0, Switzerland. That game before, Croatia versus Spain, was absolutely fantastic, and of course the winner of that match, the winner of this match, sorry, plays Spain in the next round. So it's going to be another, well, it's going to be the first corner for Switzerland here. Ricardo Rodriguez standing over it, whips it in, decent ball, Elvedi goes up, free header again. This time it wasn't even remotely towards the goal, and Pogba can only scoop it out of play for a throw. So two early chances from set pieces there for one in white, one in blue. Elvedi certainly should have done a bit better with that one. He looked totally free, but he was on the way down as the ball came in and couldn't make the required contact with it. This is now Manuel Akanji, the Borussia Dortmund man, finds Stefan Zuber, who got 3 assists in the last game and deservedly keeps his place, as do pretty much all of the Swiss, to shove off the ball. And it's Mbappe coming away with it, burst past Xhaka. He's got Pavard with him, shows some lovely feet there, does the excellent Mbappe, finds Pogba. This is Kanté in a bit of space, about 35 yards from goal. Dings it into Benzema. Benzema looking to get past his man. Benzema to the byline, drills it across, and Ricardo Rodriguez sticks out a leg to stop the blue shirt getting on the end of it. But already France looking dangerous down that left-hand side particularly. This is now Rabiot, who's definitely not usually a left wing back, but needs must on this occasion. He's filling in for Luca Digne. Well, there is Lucas Hernandez on the bench as well, but Deschamps has gone with Rabiot at left wing back. His 18th cap for his country. No goals as of yet for Rabiot. This is Mbappe to the Griezmann. Griezmann finds Mbappe. Mbappe into Griezmann. Griezmann on the left-hand side sends it in. It's going to reach Benzema. It might drop for Pogba. Blocked by Ricardo Rodriguez. But Switzerland look pretty shaky at the back so far. And Conte finds Pavard, the Bayern Munich man. And he plays it back into Rafa Varane. And this is Lenglet, who's playing in the centre of the back three. First time France have played a back three in this tournament. Pinches it off Kimpembe, but Lenglet sweeps up. I wonder if Deschamps was not happy with his side's defending in that 2-2 draw with Portugal, and that is why he's gone for the extra protection with the... Manages to find Ricardo Rodriguez. Rodriguez in on this left-hand side, sends his cross in over everyone. Might drop for Seferovic. Cleared away. Comes out to Griezmann. This has been a lively start to this one. Griezmann, Xhaka all over him, but he manages to squeeze it out to Rabiot, and it's Mbappe one-on-one with Elvedi. And we know how quick he is. Mbappe into the box, onto his right foot. Xhaka just does well to get back at him, but Mbappe's still got the ball despite 5 white shirts around him. Mbappe gets to the byline, and his cross is cleared by Akanji. He was furious with his defending, with his side's defending so far. Mbappe is causing all... beat, and he still beat all of them. In fairness, Xhaka did well here to stop Mbappe getting onto his favoured right foot, but from there, wonderful individual skill from the Frenchman. Whipped a good cross in, and Akanji, an evasive clearance away. So 7 minutes in, and it's still France 0, Switzerland 0, but this has been a great start of the game, has to be said. Ball in, headed away powerfully at the front post, and then cleared up and away towards Zuba. Kimpembe comes across, nods it out, and it's going to be a throw-in to the Swiss, roughly midway inside their own half on the near side. So a bit of a chance to settle everything down. There is Pekovic, who was appointed in 2014. This is his 77th game as Swiss national team manager, formerly of Lazio and Young Boys. Kimpembe seems to be limping a little bit, so we'll have to see how he does. This is Mbolo looking to drive past Varane. He gets past Varane easily, does Mbolo. Mbolo into the box. And in the end, he's won inside a corner. That is what Breel Mbolo can do. He's only got 6 goals in his 47 caps so far for his country, but he has got real pace and power. He got a bit lucky with the bounce, but then after that, did extremely well to hold off the world-class Real Madrid defender. So it's another chance for the Swiss, and Elvedi had a free header from this last corner, so we'll see what they can do here. Rodriguez into the box again, and it's headed away at the near post by Rodriguez. He's going to let it bounce out of play for a throw. This is Zuba once more. Finds Xhaka. Xhaka into Akanji. And Akanji finds Elvedi. Back to Akanji. So basically France and Switzerland playing 4-1-2. That's a lovely flick around the corner to Zuba. And he tries to squeeze it through for Seferovic, but he finds Mbolo. Mbolo trying to slip it back through for Seferovic. Rodriguez, Switzerland made it. As much as France have looked dangerous, the Swiss have also looked pretty dangerous as well. It's been an even start to this one. This is now Freuler, that Atlanta man. Clever ball into Zuba. Zuba wriggles away from one. And then he just comes back into the traffic, and Pogba snaps in there, but that's a good tackle. Widmer finds Freuler. Freuler whips it across. And it's too much on it on that occasion. All the way out of play for throwing on this near side, but lovely interplay by the Swiss there. Widmer to Freuler, and it's a good idea. He's just hit it viciously across the area, but there's only one man in there, and it's Seferovic, and it didn't go anywhere near him, and he didn't take a gamble on it either. In fairness, it was way over his head and made it a bit harsh too. Haris Seferovic there. 29-year-old Benfica striker. This is just going to be easy for Hugo Lloris to collect. Obviously, World Cup winner. Second most capped player for France, only behind Lilian Thuram. Although some would argue that he didn't have his best season for Spurs, and at 34, has he perhaps seen his best days? But he's still very much favourite of Deschamps. He's captained his side since 2011, so he is still a crucial player for the national team. This is now Kimpembe. Finds Rabiot into Griezmann. Back to Conte. Conte finds Lenglet playing in the centre of that back three. Carries it over the halfway line. He's just in the centre circle now. And he plays it across to Rafa Varane. 10 years at Real Madrid approaching now for Varane. Although there are rumours he does want to leave. Kimpembe, clever ball into Rabiot. Rabiot can't find Mbappe. It's a good tackle. Rodriguez, who's usually a left back, but filled in at left centre back in the last game and found himself there for this one as well. Rodriguez into Akanji. France very happy to let the Swiss have the ball here. To Akanji, who's playing in the centre of the back three for the Swiss. Mbolo tries to get around the corner. He's lost it high up the field. You don't want to be doing that. It's Griezmann to Mbappe. Mbappe into the box. Finds Benzema. Who doesn't. Akanji with a crucial interception for his side. This is Widmer under a lot of pressure. And in the end, he's blasted it off Griezmann and won a side goal kick. He's done well there. Has Sylvain Widmer, who very much usual. Second choice right back behind Kevin Mbabu. But came in the last game, did very well, and this is his 19th cap now for his country. The Basel man. Rodriguez finds Seferovic into Zuba. Zuba to Ricardo Rodriguez. Zuba again. Pogba closing down. Zuba under some slight pressure from Pavard. Back to Akanji. And Akanji back into the very experienced Yann Sommer. Played every single group game. Freuler forward. Deflected out of play. And with 12... But it's been a lively start of the game. As I said, a lot to live up to after that last one. An incredible match brought to you by Mike Harneman. He did an excellent job considering there was 8 goals and there was carnage all over the place. This is now Varane into Pavard, who, well, he was, I think there was many people arguing he definitely shouldn't have played that game against Hungary after he was clearly knocked out against Germany. But Deschamps played him. And he was arguably at fault for the goal that Les Bleus conceded to the Mygars, as it was Fiola who got in behind him. This is now Lenglet into Griezmann, who's dropped deep into Pogba, who has been excellent this tournament so far, dictating play from deep. Some of the passes he played in that last game against Portugal were sublime. That's a lovely ball for. Is already looking like he's going to have a difficult evening up against Kylian Mbappe, but he's done very well there to force him back to Kimpembe, into Lenglet, who's just inside the centre circle. He drills it. Griezmann left it for Rabiot, and Rabiot left it for Mbappe, and it went straight up play for a goal kick. And I think Switzerland will be quite happy with their start, really. That one free header for Varane. Been a couple of near moments for Mbappe, who's yet to score in this tournament. Many widely tipped him to was going to be the star of the tournament, but still plenty of time for him to do that. This is Akanji now. Clever ball into Freuler, but Kimpembe nips at his heels, and it's going to be a free kick given against Presnel Kimpembe, who seems to have shaken off that early knock and looks to be absolutely fine to continue. Xhaka picks up the free kick, plays it into Mbolo. That's a nice play. Finds Seferovic. Seferovic tries the shot. Block comes out with Zuba. One-on-one with Pavard. He's got Rodriguez on the overlap. He dinks it in. It's Seferovic. And it's a goal for Switzerland. The underdogs have taken the lead incredibly against the run of play. Seferovic rises high and nods in Zuba's cross. And it's France 0, Switzerland 1. No one was expecting this. This is against all the bookies, all the storylines, and Seferovic's 23rd goal for his country. It was a delightful ball by Zuba, who makes it 4 assists for the tournament. And we are just over 15 minutes in. And it is France 0, Switzerland 1. And what did Deschamps' side have in them now? Has to be said, Switzerland made a decent start to the game, but this was not what anyone was expecting. Great cross by Zuba, and he just climbs above Longley, who was rooted to the floor. Not any great power on the header, but great direction. Lloris has absolutely no chance with that one. And now, what can the French do? Longley into Varane. Varane finds Pogba. Straight away, there was a lot of looks amongst the French players. This is Pavard. Poor touch. Zuba comes flying over the top of him and pinches it off him. Petkovic looks remarkably calm. Deschamps looks furious. Kimpembe finds Rabiot, who has done very little in that left wing-back position. Into Pogba, who's on this near right-hand side. This is now Varane again. Into N'Golo Kanté. He finds Kimpembe. Kimpembe into Rabiot. France trying to perhaps quicken the pace of their passing up a bit. Longley, clever ball into Rabiot. This is Kanté. Can't get out of his feet and he's forced back. Kimpembe into Pogba. Pogba, clever ball into Rabiot, brings it down. Can't get the cross in, and instead plays it back to Griezmann. Griezmann, fouled there by Freuler. Bit unnecessary, he wasn't really going anywhere, was the Barcelona man. But Freuler very eager to get in. Pinch the ball back. And this is a chance now for Antoine Griezmann to deliver. The ball into the box. Kimpembe's in there, Varane's in. Side. He's got Kanté with him. Griezmann sends it in the box. It's a great ball. Defended well at the near post. Comes out to Mbolo. And then Bolo finds Zuba. Zuba under pressure from Kimpembe. He's done really well here, Zuba. And Kimpembe's nipped in, but it's only a goal kick. And it was Elvedi at the front post there before with a brilliant header, because it was a fantastic ball in by Antoine Griezmann. Ricardo Rodriguez drills it forward. That's a sublime ball. But Longley gets there ahead of Seferovic because Shaqiri was in behind, totally unmarked. And Longley, well, definitely at fault for the goal, has to be said. Didn't get off the ground at all. Very easy task for Seferovic to just rise above him. Erection on the header. Ball in behind, looking for Widmer. Going to run straight through for Lloris. Should mention that this is Zuba's 6th assist in his last 4 games for his country now. So a man in fine form. Makes you wonder why he won. Rafa Varane clips it over the head of everyone who's trying to see Pavard. Benzema sounds his appreciation for his club teammate, but that wasn't the required ball. So 20 minutes in, France still have plenty of time to get back in the game, but they've struggled so far. And Majority French crowd in here in the Arena Nationale, as well as we could tell from the national anthems. And they'll be very disappointed with what they've seen so far. This is Rabiot, poor pass, easily intercepted, and away come the Swiss with Shaqiri, who plays a clever ball in behind for Widmer. There's no one in the box. Widmer still going, and in the end, it's a goal kick, but unlucky there. Shaqiri, clever little reverse ball in behind for Widmer. Only Seferovic in the box. I mean, Pavard doesn't really make any effort to close down Zuba, but it's still a lovely ball, stood up to that. Seferovic guiding in his header. And has he scored a more important goal for his country? I would highly doubt it. This is Mbappe. Nice pass through, and Mbappe nearly gets on the end of his own pass. But Akanji does very well to shoulder him out the way. And here comes Xhaka. Zuba's on his bike. Xhaka tries to play him behind for Zuba. Good idea from Xhaka, but Pavard read it all the way. And Pavard finds Pogba. Now, can the French get moving? Pogba, what an absolutely unbelievable ball that is to Mbappe. But Elvedi comes back and makes a crucial interception. That is what Pogba can do, though. Gets his head up. Floats a delightful 40-yard pass. Mbappe's just offside, so it wouldn't have counted anyway if it turned into anything, but that's the danger they pose. Fair play to Elvedi. Brilliant tackle. Xhaka into Zuba. Zuba straight away trying to make a run off Pavard, but ball in played it in behind by Rodriguez. Varane gets there. Varane scoops it out to Pogba, who plays a lovely back heel into Pavard. Conte into Griezmann, who's in the Swiss half. Rabiot looking to drive at Widmer. He's got Mbappe close to him. And he plays it back to Antoine Griezmann. Into Rabiot. Now Mbappe. Lovely ball into Rabiot. Rabiot's at the byline. Plays it across. Benzema can't get on the end of it. That was some excellent play by Deschamps' side. Rabiot's cross just sort of swerved away. And I think Sommer, in the end, punches it away from Benzema because it looked like it was going to be a tap-in for the Real Madrid striker. It's a brilliant ball in, and Sommer gets fingers tips to it. That is a crucial intervention by Jan Sommer to keep the scores level, because that is on a plate for Karim Benzema. This is now Griezmann. 22 minutes gone here. It's France 0, Switzerland 1. Rabiot finds Benzema. Benzema trying to slip it into Mbappe. Good interception by Freuler, who then just shoves Mbappe off. Some sublime strength shown there by 29-year-old Atalanta midfielder. Widmer takes his throw into Freuler and then thumps it away up towards Mbolo. Mbolo gets his body in, but Lenglet comes over the top of him. Then Pogba fouls Xhaka. Silly, needless. But the Swiss will take it all day long. They take it quickly as well. Find Xherdan Shaqiri. We've obviously got 2 goals in the last round. They were both excellent finishes as well. One with his right foot, bend it in from the edge of the box, and the second one, first time, finished with his left foot into the roof of the net. And that is the quality that Shaqiri has. Obviously, haven't seen that much of him at Liverpool in recent years, but still an excellent player and one of Switzerland's best. And that's a lovely ball by Shaqiri, but intercepted well by Lenglet. It was looking for the goal scorer, Seferovic. This is now Benzema into Griezmann. Rabiot once more. He's got Conte and Griezmann with him as he jogs slowly into the Swiss half. The white shirts are back now, though, in numbers. Rabiot just dinks it back to Paul Pogba. Into Kimpembe. France very happy to be patient with this. Varane. Pavard slowly moved it across to this near-hand side. Back into side with N'Golo Conte. He slips it into Griezmann. That's a bit quicker. Into Rabiot. He shoved off it. Comes out to Pogba about 30 yards from goal. Pogba shifts out of his foot. Griezmann into Conte, looks to get a cross in. No, plays it back to Griezmann. Rabiot, and it all breaks down. It's going to be a free kick for handball, though. Freuler, a bit unlucky there in my view, but looked like it broke down, to be honest. But going to be a free kick in a good position, roughly 25 yards from goal. Left of centre, so position for Pogba, perhaps. Mbappe is now being waved away. It's Griezmann and Benzema standing over it. 1 goal for Benzema would move him level with Just Fontaine, and 2 tonight were drawn level with Zinedine Zidane, and that's despite not playing from October 2015 until June 2021. Mbappe is now back over it. Benzema has been waved away. So he won't be getting that goal I just mentioned as of yet. Kimpembe and Pogba just in front of the wall. Interesting this. It's Mbappe. It's into the wall. And it comes out to Mbappe again, who rifles it just wide of the far post. He caught that so cleanly. Did Mbappe, but it flew wide. Sommer was motionless. First effort from Mbappe into the wall. Comes out to him. Lashes it well. It was well wide in the end, actually, but he caught it really well. Struggled to catch a ball cleaner than that, to be honest. On the bounce, first time. Taking out one of the cameramen. So, France showing a bit more signs of life here, but Akanji with the ball. Finds Mbolo, who's managed to pick up a nice pocket of space. And finds Xhaka. This is Switzerland got loads of space here. Zuba into Rodriguez. Rodriguez back to Zuba, into the box. Zuba wins his side. A goal kick of Zuba. That is unlucky. Nice play down this left-hand side once more between Rodriguez and Zuba, who've interlinked really well for this game so far. Zuba, unlucky, hits it off Conte, comes back off him. And Larry takes the goal kick quickly, and it's here with Kimpembe into long play. One of those balls through into Benzema, nearly brings it down absolutely brilliantly, but Akanji reads it and clears, but that was nearly absolutely sublime. This is Rabiot driving forward. Mbappe sends a cross in, not his best cross, has to be said. Akanji clears. If France are going to cross like that for the rest of the game, I think Akanji and co will be very happy with dealing with balls in like that. It was low, it was bouncing, but it was comfortable. So 27 minutes in, here is still France 0, Switzerland 1. This is Rafa Varane into Pogba. Pogba into Rabiot. Rabiot's got Mbappe wide. Rabiot hits it! Oof, what a strike by Rabiot, who, as I said, never scored for his country. Well, he wasn't far away there. He had space, he had time. He looked up and he thought, why not? Catches it so well. Sommer dives. Don't think he was going to get there. Flashes just wide of the post. Has to be said, I mean, France were in the group of death, but they didn't look too cut. Obviously, they got that 1-0 win against Germany where they weren't that convincing. And then the 1-1 draw with Hungary where they definitely should have won with the chances they had. So they did finish top of their group, but they've certainly not sparked into life as we all know they can as of yet in this tournament. And at the moment, they're going home. Widmer finds Shaqiri into Xhaka. To Rodriguez. Rodriguez, Zuba again. Zuba looking to take on Varane. Gets to the byline, but Varane gets in there. Zuba holds off his man, does well. Finds Rodriguez into Xhaka once more. Mbolo turns. Finds Zuba. And Rodriguez all the way back to Akanji, and Swiss are just happy to have a bit of possession. It's not like it's been relentless pressure from France, but Rabiot attempt just moments ago. This is Rodriguez. This is some lovely play from the Swiss, though. Zuba should have definitely played Shaqirian, but he flies past Varane, and Varane brings him down brutally. And I'll be very surprised that's not a yellow card. And that is a yellow card for Rafa Varane, and he's going to be very careful now for the rest of this game, especially with Zuba on that side, who is causing all sorts of problems. So it'll be Xherdan Shaqiri standing over this one. I'll tell you what, if the Swiss could get a second here, not really be a cat amongst the pigeons. They've got Kanji in the box. Shaqiri sends it in. It's a decent ball. Mbolo gets there. He should have done a lot better there. Mbolo comes in late, and it just flicks off his head and flies well wide in the end, but he was totally unmarked. He wrestled off his man Kimpembe very easily. I mean, to be honest, Kimpembe lucky not to have fouled Mbolo there. Arms were high, weren't necessarily grabbing his shirt, but probably just on the borderline of acceptable. So Mbolo, a bit unlucky with that, really. This is now Kimpembe into Longley. Finds Pogba. Back to Longley, who's having a little wander. Finds Conte. Back into Pogba, who's filled in as the deep centre-back and clips a nice-looking ball into Benzema. Benzema finds Griezmann. Lovely flick round the corner. It's Rabiot. Rabiot to the byline. Takes a horrible touch. Rabiot there. The Juventus man. Terrible touch by Rabiot. Lovely flick by Griezmann into him. If he takes a better touch, surely he's going to get a cross in for Mbappe. But it's so loose and it just dribbles out of play for a goal kick. Mbappe's furious. Benzema's furious as well. Elvedi caught Griezmann there very late in the build to that goal, to that chance. I think he hasn't got away with the yellow card. Right decision. Goes straight into the book. Rodriguez into Zuba. Back to Rodriguez, who flings it forward. Headed away by Longley. But comes out to Conte. Conte slips it into Pavard. It's Pogba who slipped into Pavard, but too much on it. And straight out play for a throw. And it's not happening for the French so far. Well, it's not like the short of options on the bench, mind. You've got the likes of Lucas Hernandez, Thomas Lemar, Kingsley Coman, Marcus Thuram, Ben Yedder, Giroud. So there's plenty of options there for the French. I mean, Giroud's France's second top goal scorer in their history. This is lovely play. Brings him down blatantly and cynically. And he'd be lucky if he gets away with the yellow card for that one. He's made no attempt to get the ball there, has Paul Pogba. And incredibly, I think he's got away with the yellow card. Xhaka into Zuba. Finds Shaqiri. This is Rodriguez now. Rodriguez with a big switch over towards Vidmar. Into Seferovic. Vidmar. Back to Elvedi. Elvedi into Akanji. And Akanji finds Xhaka. Rodriguez. Swiss have looked very confident on the ball and willing and cutting through France's lines very easily, to be honest. Xhaka finds Zuba, and especially down this near left-hand side, they've caused all sorts of problems. Rodriguez with the absolutely fantastic ball over to Vidmar, who does well to keep it in and then knock it past Kimpembe. Once a foul, not going to get it. Rabiot to Kimpembe, finds Griezmann. Rabiot again, clips it into Conte. Kimpembe brings it down, finds Griezmann. Now this is where France can go. Mbappe, lovely turn around the corner, finds N'Golo Conte, who keeps it in play, and then skips straight out of play. Just as Mbappe had the afterburners on. He looks frustrated. A lot of the Le Bleu do look frustrated, to be honest. Jaktovic looks remarkably calm, has to be said. Seferovic. Good hold-up play. Though, and then Rabiot hauls Xherdan Shaqiri to the floor. It's going to be a free kick to the Swiss once more. Well, the linesman signalled it. The referee, however, didn't agree. Pavard finds Lenglet. Lenglet into Pogba. Lenglet again, he's got Conte with him. He slips it into Rabiot, who's then brought down pretty blatantly by Seferovic. Taken quickly into Griezmann. Griezmann cuts inside, works the space onto his right foot over the back post where Pavard's waiting, but Zuber, who's been excellent going forward, doing his defensive duties there as well, covering round the back. Safety first, nods it straight out play for a corner. The first France corner for quite a while, actually. And from the other one, Varane nearly scored. This will be an in-swinger this time, though. Griezmann once more over it. Sends it in near towards the front post. Pogba can't get there. Comes out to Shaqiri. Shaqiri looking to burst past Pavard. And Pavard gets a foot in and stops the Liverpool man going any further. Should mention that the French are unbeaten against Switzerland since 1992 and have never actually lost in a competitive match against the Swiss. But those records are there to be broken, of course. And I mean, the last four of the last 5 games have been draws, with the most recent a 0-0 draw during the Euros in 2016. So, although the overall history is totally against Switzerland, they have managed to get a few draws in recent years. So, I'm having a drinks break where Deschamps can speak to his players. Obviously wants more creativity from the likes of Pogba. Needs to see more from Mbappe. Needs to see more from Benzema. Arguably in a friendship, only really Griezmann who's looked lively and sharp. For the Swiss, Zuber's been fantastic. Seferovic has got his goal, held the ball up well. Xhaka's doing well in the midfield. Freuler's got around. By Zuber really is, and Seferovic just dominates Lenglet, who has to do better than that. He's not even looking at the ball. It's awful defending, in truth, and Deschamps is not happy, and understandably so. So just about 6 minutes or so, 7 minutes or so till half time. Lenglet finds Rabiot. Rabiot looked to be playing in midfield now. Maybe a change of formation. It looks like Kimpembe has gone to left back. So yes, Deschamps has shuffled his pack and made a change. So Rabiot is now playing in midfield. Griezmann in there with him as well. Pogba in there. That's a nice touch by Mbappe. Finds Rabiot. Akanji clears and Freuler completes the clearance. Only as far as Presnel. Kimpembe, though, it does well to keep it in play because had touched him, so it would have been a Swiss throw. Finds Conte, who looks to be now back in his usual position of sitting on his own. Pogba playing more sort of as a right-sided midfielder. Just over the halfway line, Pogba back into Rabiot. Now he's back inside his own half is Pogba. Switches across to Conte. And Conte finds Lenglet. Lenglet allowed to carry it forward. Finds Griezmann. Back to Pogba. Blue shirts flooding forward now, but not any great pace in the attack as of yet. Pogba clips it forward. Headed away by Akanji. Comes to Xhaka, and this is where the Swiss have a chance. It's a follower to 2-on-2. It's Seferovic. He's been forced a bit wide by the pass. Varane comes out and meet him, but remember, Varane is on a yellow card in the end. The Swiss slow it all down, but they've still got good possession inside the French half through Widmer. Back to Shaqiri. Shaqiri into Widmer once more, and all the way back to Yann Sommer, who, apart from that cross that he palmed away, hasn't actually had a save to make. Elvedi. All into Shaqiri. Shaqiri pings one towards Zuber, brings it down well. We're going to take on Pavard. And just knocks it back to Rodriguez. This is a confident performance from the Swiss. Zuber into Ricardo Rodriguez again. Back to Zuber, into Xhaka. Lovely play, and Bolo's in behind. And Varane comes across and deals with it. But it's so easy for the Swiss to break through France. Almost at will. Xhaka was under no pressure whatsoever there. Got his head up. No one within 5 yards of him. Got his head up, played it in behind Conte. And if Mbolo's touch was better, he's in one-on-one with Lurie. And it could have been a long way back for the French. Rodriguez whips it in. Decent ball. Akanji goes up and comes back off him. And it's going to be a goal kick. But if any team are looking more likely at the moment, it is indeed Petrovic's side. Good ball in by Rodriguez. Akanji gets up. Bit unlucky, really. Comes back off him, but here, Xhaka, brilliant ball in. And if Bolo's touch is better, he's in. This is Rabiot over the halfway line. Finds Benzema. Benzema into Griezmann. It's got Pavard making a burst and run forward, but he ignores him. And instead opts to find Longley into Kimpembe. Back to Longley. Every single outfield French player now in the Swiss half. Pogba. Into Varane, who's just past the centre circle. Into Pogba, who's got... Finds a clever ball into Mbappe, who was desperate for some service. Brings it down well, Mbappe. Clever ball into Pavard. This is better. Mbappe, lovely play. He's got Conte with him. Takes on his left foot. Mbappe! Well. High and wide in the end. But that's a lot better. Some nice 1-2 interplay between Griezmann and Mbappe. Onto his arguably unfavoured left foot. And as he was leaning back, couldn't make the required contact, and it goes high into the crowd. But encouraging signs for Deschamps' side. Just as he's fallen over there, he pulled the trigger. And Sommer was in no trouble. But that's what they can do in a moment, this French side. Just turn it on instantly. They quickened it up there and carved through the Swiss in the end, really. Chanting their side on, French fans looking a lot more pensive. And worried. Pogba finds Varane. Obviously, a lot of people's pre-tournament favourites to make it 3 European Championship titles for France. Obviously, runners-up in the last one in, obviously, the home tournament. But they need to be a lot better than this in the second half. Varane. Mbappe. Elvedi gets across, and he's been excellent so far. And Elvedi. Seferovic brings it on brilliantly on his chest, but Varane gets there ahead of him. Play continues. Rabiot. Griezmann tries to play a clever flick into Rabiot, a bit needless, and away comes Mbolo, trying to show all of his pace and strength, and in the end he's sandwiched between 2 French shirts and wins aside a free kick, but that's a good way of relieving pressure. Just about a minute or so to go at half time. France 0, Switzerland 1. Seferovic with a goal, his second of the tournament. An expertly guided header from a delightful Zuber cross. Arguably terrible French marking, really, especially from Longley, and allowed to get the cross in too easily. And since then, the Swiss have been very comfortable. Vidmer to take this throw. I'm going to see how much added time we're going to have very soon. Very surprised it's anything more than a minute. Conte wins the header. Picked up by Benzema. Nice flick into Griezmann. Griezmann trying to slip it in behind for Mbappe, but there's Elvedi once again. Two minutes added on. Xhaka finds Seferovic. Rodriguez back to Seferovic. He's got Conte at his back. And in the end, he does very well. And he finds Xhaka. Xhaka looks up and drills a ball over the... Who's looking to now take on Kimpembe. Gets past him easily, Kimpembe. And Longley comes back. It hits. And it comes back out and nearly came to Seferovic. But France get away with it. Kimpembe into Griezmann. Griezmann finds Pogba. Conte to Kimpembe again. This is Conte in the centre circle. Finds Mbappe, who's dropping ever and ever deeper to get the ball. Finds Pogba. Pogba finds Griezmann. He's got the overlapping run of Benzema. Benzema into the box, onto his right foot. Karim Benzema, blocked. And then clash ahead straight away. Mbolo clattered by Rabiot, and we're going to have Physio instantly on. Full-blooded challenge by Rabiot, but he has nutted Mbolo pretty hard. And I think wise decision to get the Physios on. Pekovic will be absolutely delighted, and so far it's going to be Switzerland against Spain in the quarterfinals. Deschamps has got a massive team talk ahead, or maybe Pogba does. He played a huge role in the 2018 World Cup as a motivator as well as on the pitch. Who's going to step up for the French in the second half? Because Le Bleu have been disappointing, it has to be said. Mbolo looks like he's going to be absolutely fine to continue, which is good news. He's been impressive for his country. It's hard to think of him White who hasn't. Sommer drills it away, and there, well, thought it was going to be the half-time whistle. Flicked on instead. It's Shaqiri. Shaqiri taking on Varane. Holds up his man. Back to Zuba. Xhaka. Zuba. Back into Akanji. Xhaka. Clever play by Xhaka. Finds Vidmer. And this is Mbolo, who's just returned to the field in the right wing, and he's drilled across. Out, well, an awful cross is the only way to describe that, to be honest. Well, and there is the halftime whistle. So Haris Seferovic's second goal of the tournament from an absolutely delightful Stefan Zuba cross has given the unfancied Swiss side the lead against, obviously, the heavy pre-tournament favourites France. To be honest, Le Bleu have struggled to get into any sort of rhythm, and apart from one Rafa Varane header and a cross that was palmed away, they've done very little. So the halftime score here is France 0, Switzerland 1.
Thank you very much there, Jack Cunningham, for first half action there. Fantastic coverage as always. We're now going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll discuss the first half action. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Commentary Hub. Welcome back to the Commentary Hub's coverage of France against Switzerland in the last 16. The winners will take on Spain, who earlier tonight beat Croatia by 5 goals to 3 after extra time. In that Spain game, Mike Orneman asked the question of who was the only team to stop Croatia from scoring in the last 11 matches. And before today, they'd scored 18 in the last 11. The answer the answer is England. The only side to stop Croatia from scoring in the last 11. Before today, they'd scored 18 goals. They've now scored 21 goals in those games. So, thank you very much for that, Mike. Well, a question in here from Wayne, who's been in touch, says, what's the news on KDB and Eden Hazard's injury? He says, might be a big blow for Belgium. It is a big blow for Belgium because earlier today, their manager Roberto Martinez confirmed they're both out of the clash against Italy on Friday at 8 o'clock in Munich. So, that is the news there for you. We're now going to fetch in back our match commentator Jack Cunningham. And Jack, are you there, mate? We cannot seem to hear you, Jack. You seem to be muted, my friend.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we can hear you now, Jack. So, first on that first half then, Jack, because for me, having watched it, it looks as though after that first 10 minutes in which I'd say France dominated, I think Switzerland have been as good as they've got for the remainder of the match. Would you go along and agree with that statement there, Jack?
Yeah, they totally deserved to be in the lead. Great goal. Love that cross by Zuba. Terrible defending by Longley. I don't know what he's doing. Seems incredible that they didn't give Laporte a game, but they play Longley, doesn't it? And obviously he's gone to Spain now as Laporte. So, yeah, I mean, but I think Switzerland have been brilliant. I think what's impressed me most about them is the fact that, yes, France have looked a bit dangerous on the odd attack, but overall, Switzerland have dealt with it all really well. And they've controlled the game in a large part. So when they've got possession, they're not being panically just launching it long, just anywhere will do. They've played clever balls like into their strikers. They give their strikers the chance to hold it up, and then they play from there. Zuba down that left-hand side has been absolutely brilliant. Rodriguez has been fantastic. It's honestly hard to think of anyone who White hasn't been brilliant. Granted, Xhaka has been, well, I mean, this is one of the best I've seen Xhaka play. Certainly better than I've seen him play in an Arsenal shirt for a long, long time. And I really like Freuler in there as well. Works really hard, but technical quality, pass as well. So I've been really impressed with the Swiss. France, we know their quality, but apart from Griezmann, have they done enough? I don't think they are. Pavard's having a nightmare down that right hand side. Don't know what Deschamps was thinking trying to play Rabiot at left wing back. It didn't work. We'll see what happens now. He's changed it. I mean, I don't know why he didn't, unless Lucas Hernandez is on the merits of the first half. I think France are deservedly behind.
Yes, and Mike is coming on your point about Granit Xhaka as well. He says Xhaka is always class for country, but a different player when it comes to club. And I would tend to agree with Mike there. I thought Mike could have an opinion on Granit Xhaka. Mike Orneman, who you heard bringing that Spain 5-3 win after extra time over Croatia, is an Arsenal fan. Our colleague, the commentary hub, and we're in partnership with JB Sports going forward. Now, Jack, at the half-time interval, I'm looking at the both starting lineups, and looking at the bench, and I would on the bench apart from Granovic and Djibril Sow, for me, I think the French have got a better substitution offering on the bench. They've got the likes of Thomas Lemar, Giroud, Tolisso, Ben Yedder as well. Not forgetting Kingsley Coman and Marcus Thuram as well. Do you feel that France have got a stronger bench if
Yeah, France.
anyone's to change it?
Yeah, France definitely. I mean, France have the strongest starting 11. If you go player for player, they have the stronger bench. Of course they do, but I mean, that's the beauty of football, isn't it? It's not necessarily about if it was always the best players won all the time. Be a bit boring. I think that's the beauty of tournament football as well. So far, Petrovic has got his tactics spot on, and it's not like they're clinging on. They, as I said, they've got quite a lot of control in that midfield. France don't seem to be interested in pressing at all. It's really odd. It's almost like they just expect their superior quality to show through. Well, if they're going to play like that in the second half, they'll be going out. So, but obviously, yeah, if you look at the bench, I mean, you know, Giroud, how many times has he scored a massive goal for club or country? So, you know, you can't rule out him coming on and doing something. Lemar,
Yeah,
Coman, etc.
yes, and Jack, I'm going to ask you a question here now. I'm going to put you on the line and ask for a prediction. Do you reckon that France will come back into this game, and do you reckon it'll end up drawing, go the distance like 120 minutes like Mike's did, or do you reckon it will be won in 90 minutes by one of these sides?
I would be so surprised if France are as bad as that in the second half. They need to show a lot more. So if France turn up and do what we all know they can, then I'm going for a 2-1 France win. I think if they get a goal, I think the momentum would swing totally back in their favour, and it'd go. I think it'd be too much for the Swiss. But the longer the Swiss can hold on and not just cling on deep, cling on by controlling the game, keeping possession, then France will get nervy, and you never know. But yeah, I'm going to go for 2-1 France win in 90 minutes.
Be interesting if that is to come around, and we brought you some brilliant commentary earlier. We bring you some more great commentary now. It looks like there's going to be a substitution at the break for one of these two sides. I think it might be France. But to tell you through the second half of the game, let's hand over to Jack Cunningham.
Well, thanks for us, and no surprise at all to see Clément Lenglet substituted. Yeah, he was okay, neat and tidy on the ball, but ultimately, if you're a centre-back and you're not going to get off the ground for a header, what are you... On comes Kingsley Coman, who is an absolutely sublime player. It looks like he could be leaving Bayern Munich. This is his 32nd cap, 5 goals for Le Bleu. Only 25-year-old. He's won 24 trophies in his career, and he's going to hug that left-hand touchline. And I would expect Widmer and Elvedi to have a lot more problems. So kicking off this time, it's going to be France from right to left. It looks like it is Rabiot at left back. So the Swiss might have some joy down that side because, you know, when he was playing left wing back, he struggled. But I'm pleased to see Le Bleu have abandoned their matchup tactics and have gone for what they know best can do. This is Rafa Varane carrying the ball just about over the halfway line, and then he pulls it back to Kimpembe into Conte, and Conte plays it across to Varane, and Varane is over the halfway line on the right hand side. He's got Pogba making a move, no pressure on the ball from the Swiss, and in the end forced back to Kimpembe, who drives for... He was waiting. This is Conte, and he plays it across to Varane. Into Pavard. Pavard down the line to Conte. He's made a good off the ball run. Xhaka tracking him. Plays it back to Griezmann. Griezmann lines up the effort. Griezmann shoots. Sommer had it covered, but straight away, France showing their intentions. Although, I mean, arguably saying if you're shooting from that distance, after 46 minutes. Don't know, he didn't catch it properly, did Griezmann, but excellent goal scoring record for his country. He scored 38 goals before this game, which means he's just 3 goals behind Michel Platini. So he's been an excellent player for his country. So why not having a go from there? Pogba, oh, that's absolutely delightful. He just glides past Rodriguez and then loses the ball. That was brilliant skill. Just skip past Xhaka, skip past Rodriguez initially. Just lovely feet. Not real pace, just such clever close. And hit it off his own feet, off his own foot. Yeah, and Rodriguez did well, actually. Track back. Ball launched long. It's Seferovic and Varane in a race. Varane gets there, but Seferovic is a willing runner. And goes out to play for a goal kick. But that's what Pogba can do. Just tight little close control. This is Kimpembe, finds Pogba, who's in acres of space inside his own half. Pings it into Coman, who gets his first touch of the ball, and it's a pretty awful touch as he plays it behind Rabiot. Out of play for a throw-in to the Swiss. Widmer to take it just over the halfway line into Mbolo. He heads it back to Xhaka, who stands on the ball, and Conte was sniffing around, but he did well. Xhaka managed to squeeze it back to Akanji. I'm in that first half. Coman with a good header around the corner. Finds Rabiot into Coman now. Plays it back to Presnel Kimpembe. Finds Conte. Varane once more. Pavard. Back to Varane. Into Kimpembe again on the left-hand side. One half. Finds Conte, who just picks up a little pocket of space in the midfield. Finds Griezmann. This is Mbappe, first touch. Akanji stands tall and strong as Mbappe looked to shift it past him. He plays Seferovic in. He's going to give a run of Varane and holds the ball up excellently again, as he has done all evening. Rodriguez finds Shaqiri. Shaqiri to Zuba. Zuba back to Xhaka. Once again, no real pressing from France, just allowing the Swiss to pass the ball around. Coman can't get that. Rabiot beaten to it. Widmer now bursting forward. Widmer all alone. Slips in Mbolo. Mbolo in the box. Can't touch him there. Drills it across. Seferovic is there for a tap in, but it's cleared away. France just carved through so easily once more. Xhaka. Conte snaps in. Wins it back. Pogba. Now, what can France do here? It's Benzema. Benzema finds Mbappe. That's a brilliant ball. He's got Griezmann on the overlap. Griezmann in a race with Rodriguez. Going to get there first, but he's been forced a bit wider than he was. Griezmann. Pavard made the off-the-ball run, but Griezmann tries the back heel to Mbappe, but it's all broke down a bit there. But what a chance for the Swiss. Mbolo did everything right. Got to the byline, hit it hard across. And Seferovic was there for a tap-in, but it was deflected away. And France survived. This is Mbappe. Conte. Mbappe looking to shift past one man, but Akanji stands there and gets a good tackle in. Back to Varane. Varane finds Griezmann. Griezmann into Kimpembe. This is Pogba. Rabiot. Rabiot to Coman. Coman into Pogba on this near side, the left side as we look at it. Benzema. Coman. All the way back to Varane. Varane into Conte. Conte looking to shift past his man. Clips one into Rabiot. Rabiot got the off the ball run from Benzema. Benzema to the byline. Forced back. Rabiot. Pogba. France camp deep inside the Swiss half. But yet to create any chances so far. Varane. Xhaka. Seferovic does well. Shaqiri brings it down. Lovely touch by Shaqiri. And away come the Swiss now. It's a 3-on-3 break. It's Zuba looking to easily get past Pavard. He does. Zuba going, shoves off Pavard. Zuba cuts past Pavard. He's brought down surely there. Well, he carries on. And Pavard continues. They want to foul the Swiss. And I'll tell you what, it looked a rash challenge from Pavard, to say the least. Don't know if VAR's having a look at it, but nothing as of yet. This is Rabiot over the halfway line. He's got Benzema on the wide left. Surely you want Benzema in the box. Well, here's Benzema now as a winger. Benzema onto his right foot. Skips past one. Mbappe turns. Force wide. And then hits the floor in the penalty area. Once a penalty. That is horrible dive from Kylian Mbappe. Excellent player, but no need for that. Well, we're going to have a VAR check of, well, there's a penalty check. I don't know what end it's going to be at. He's going to look at the screen. Well, it's the Pavard one. Look, more of a penalty. Could be a huge moment in the game. Looking at this, Pavard slides in, gets nowhere near the ball, wipes him out. But is the contact in the penalty area? I'm not sure if the contact is in the penalty area, but it definitely is a foul. We're having a penalty. It's a penalty to the Swiss. In the penalty box. Deschamps is furious. The French could be going home now. Lloris, can he be a hero? It's a rash challenge by Benjamin Pavard. He was beaten by Zuba for pace. There's no need to slide in. Zuba's been excellent all evening. And the French fans look absolutely distraught. Who will take this then? Could be Seferovic. It's going to be Ricardo Rodriguez. Ricardo Rodriguez against Hugo. Rodriguez, who scored 9 goals for his country up until this moment, to make it 2-0 to the Swiss and take a huge step into the quarterfinals where Spain await. It's a long run up. The referee blows his whistle. Rodriguez steps up and saved by Lloris. It's an absolutely excellent save by the French captain. And the game is still on. Lloris gets right, dive to his right, clawed it out with a huge right hand and keeps the score at 1-0 to the Swiss. Rodriguez has missed a huge opportunity to put the game to bed. And will he be punished? Lloris, who has been an absolutely exemplary player for his country, has just come up with potentially one of his biggest moments in a France shirt. And the Bleu crowd sense perhaps a changing of the tide now. Rodriguez didn't look that confident when he stepped up. It was very telegraphed where he was going to go. He's left-footed and he went as you would almost expect a left-footer to go. But here come the Swiss once more. Shaqiri finds Seferovic. Back to Zuba. To Rodriguez, who's, well, hopefully he's not dwelling on that too much. Takes a bit of a loose touch there, but he manages to squeeze it to Xhaka. Zuba, lovely, back heel. Finds Xhaka. Xhaka into Zuba. Zuba's been absolutely excellent this game. Xhaka blocked. Benzema around the corner to Mbappe. Mbappe 1-on-1 with 4 Swiss defenders. Benzema squeezes it to Griezmann. Griezmann across to Koeman. Koeman hits his face. Can't really work the space for the shot. Into Pogba. Pogba lines up the shot onto his left foot. Still going. Lovely pass. Mbappe! Oh, just wide of the far post from Kylian Mbappe. He can't believe he's missed it. I can't believe he's missed it as well. That was delightful football by Paul Pogba. Did everything right. Laid it on a plate for Mbappe, but he just can't score in this tournament. Probably because he's in my fantasy team. And he drills it wide of the far post. Sommer was rooted to the spot. No one's... He's done everything right, in fairness. He's gone for the far corner. He's got the curl on it. It's not enough. Deschamps knows that was a huge opportunity, but still plenty of time for the French. And after that miss... finds Mbappe. Mbappe slips it into Benzema. Benzema brings it down. Benzema scores! And it's 1-1. There is Karim Benzema equaling just Fontaine's record. It's now 30 goals for him in a France shirt. And what a huge moment that is for the French. It's all about Hugo Lloris, literally moments ago making the save. France scored on the other end. And then Benzema equalises. And it's game on here in Bucharest. Ricardo Rodriguez must feel like the weight of the world is on his shoulders after that miss. It's lovely play by the French. It's that killer combo of Benzema and Mbappe linking up. Benzema's first touch wasn't amazing, but then he lifts it over Sommer. And now the momentum is all with Deschamps' side. It's actually a delightful touch by Benzema. I thought, first of all, it got away from him, but the pass from Mbappe is behind him. He brings it down unbelievably, and he just dinks it over Sommer. That is a lovely, lovely goal. It's his third of the tournament. Benzema, it seems incredible that he was in exile for so long, of course, though they were for personal reasons and not necessarily professional reasons, but he knows where the net is. And they always say with potential champions, you always have to have a game where you struggle and then you overcome it. Could this be the French's game? Well, we'll have to see. This is Coman straight away. France now looking to tease and taunt Vidmer. He gets past him easily. He's to the byline. Coman, he clips it in. And it's going to come out to Shaqiri. Pogba wins it back easily. Just maneuvers Shaqiri out the way. Finds Griezmann. This is Mbappe. Griezmann in. Griezmann scores. He doesn't. Benzema scores. It's 2-1 to France. They've turned it around incredibly. He's there at the back post. It looked like Griezmann had scored. Instead, it comes to Benzema and he equals Zinedine Zidane's record. And he is now a French national hero if he wasn't already. And the Swiss have to resent that penalty miss. They cannot believe what's happened. But as it stands, it is France 2, Switzerland 1. And it's Karim Benzema, 4th goal of the tournament, 31st goal in a France shirt. He's where you want all good strikers to be, lurking at that back post, totally unmarked. He literally couldn't miss it. Lovely play by Griezmann and Mbappe. As I said, Griezmann saved by Sommer, but then Benzema heads it in. It's close for offside. We'll have to see what the decision is. Sommer unlucky, really, but Benzema's never going to miss from there. And, well, the Swiss have it all to do. Football, what a cruel game, eh? It could have been 2-0 literally 5 minutes ago. Even less, probably. And France go up the other end and show their quality. And Benzema shows his quality and gets a double. And at the moment it will be France against Spain in that quarter-final. I did say it'd be 2-1 to France, but I wasn't expecting to score so early because there's still a long time. There's still half an hour left for the Swiss to come back into this one. Before that, Pekovic has got his tactics spot on. He got everything spot on. But that penalty miss has swung the game. Hugo Lloris, what a hero for his country. And then Benzema, the two old heads, 33 and 34, saving their country. Pavard, flick on. Griezmann wins that header. It's all France now. They're winning all the second balls as well. Griezmann skips by one. He's got Mbappe with him. Still going, Griezmann. Held up by Zuba. Slips it back to Pavard. Finds Conte. Conte finds Varane. Varane finds Kimpembe. And Kimpembe finds Rabiot. Slowing it all down now, the French. Benzema, 2 goals. As I said now, level with Zinedine Zidane in his country's goal-scoring charts. You have to think, if he'd played all that time, how many goals would he have for France? Griezmann fouled there. Yellow card coming out as well. And it's for Ricardo Rodriguez, who has had a horrible 10 minutes. Very late on Griezmann. Blatant yellow card, but I do feel for him. He had the opportunity he must still be thinking about it, especially with what's happened now. The way these things go can be brutal. Two-one up. Varane all the way back to Hugo Lloris. Lloris gets out of his feet, clips it towards Koeman. Koeman wins the flick on. Mbappe was running in behind, but Elvedi got there. Freuler finds Xhaka. Xhaka into Akanji. Akanji finds Freuler. Bit of a loose touch. Koeman was on him, but Widmer gets there. France looking to press a bit more now. Mbolo. Conte nips in. Rabiot back to Kimpembe. Into Pogba. Lovely flick by Pogba. And away goes N'Golo Conte. He's got Mbappe wide. Still going. Trying to dance his way through. He wants that goal desperately. It's just not happening for him this tournament. He left the ball behind as he swerved two men. And Elvedi got a foot in and stabs it away. But it's going to be a throw, well, just out, well, pretty much just in line with the 18-yard box on this near side. Rabiot to take. Koeman, it might run for Pogba, doesn't it? It's cleared. Varane after it. Plays it back to Lloris. Lloris plays it forward. Rabiot goes up, wins the header. How big could that moment be? Not in terms of just this game, that penalty save from Lloris, but the whole tournament, because they had nothing for them, Le Bleu. Even in the second half, they hadn't started well. They hadn't come out as a team, but moments like that can change everything. Seferovic. This is nice play by the Swiss. Zuber just about keeps it in, does he? No, he doesn't. But we all know, I mean, Zuber, again, he was the one who terrorised Pavard for the penalty, and, you know, so we know what they can do on that side particularly. Mbappe beaten in the air by Elvedi. Pogba beaten to it, but comes to Conte. Conte finds Griezmann. Griezmann under pressure and might lose the ball out the field there, Griezmann. Zuber wins it back off him. Conte comes in. 64 minutes gone, so it's France 2. Throw, but they don't give them any more. Kimpembe finds Elvedi just inside his own half in the right centre-back position. Into Widmer, who's just inside his own half in the right wing-back position. Finds Freuler. Freuler to Rodriguez, into Akanji. Now France very happy to... Well, they've been happy to drop off all evening, actually. Freuler finds Widmer. There's definitely more chances than this for the Swiss, because the way the French midfield have not pressed at all has been unusual. Rodriguez. He's got Zuber with him, finds him. Has he got more moments of magic in his feet? Xhaka. I'm going to speed it up a bit now. Now Switzerland finds Freuler. This is Widmer. He's got Shaqiri with him. Shaqiri looking to take on Rabiot. Rabiot forces him down unfairly. And it's going to be a free kick to the Swiss. It's a silly foul by Rabiot. That he just grabs his arm around his neck. No need for it at all. So Chatham say, there's Akanji in the box, Elvedi in the box, Seferovic in the box, and Mbolo in the box. Zuber lurking at the back post. Shaqiri steps up, whips it, and it's an absolutely fantastic ball. It's flicked wide by Widmer coming in at the back post. It's a delicious ball in by Shaqiri. Looked like it only needed a touch. Well, it did need a touch, but the touch went wide. Fantastic ball in. Looks like Seferovic and Widmer getting each other's way. Seferovic just sort of punched Varane in the face, but not really. Seferovic actually got on the end of that one. but he's probably taken off it by Vidmer coming in on his eye line. So Seferovic inches away from getting his second and instantly or in parity. Laree taking his time over this free kick, because it was, in the end, it was given as a foul. Through for Laree? Maybe not. He was under some pressure there, but there was no one closing down Kimpembe, and he's allowed to flick it. That's a lovely flick by Coman. Finds Mbappe. This is Pogba. It's got Griezmann and Pavard with him. Slips it in behind beautifully for Mbappe. Mbappe in. Sommer comes out and deals with one. Absolutely gorgeous pass by Pogba. I didn't even see that one. Mbappe made a brilliant run, and Pogba's just desperate to get him his goal. But this time, held off well, actually. It was good defending, and Sommer also came out and dealt with it. Vidmer back to Shaqiri. Arguably want to see more from Xherdan Shaqiri, really. He's the one who's got the major talent in this Swiss side, and he's been a bit on the periphery in the second half, apart from that absolutely gorgeous free kick that he delivered just moments ago. Mbolo, lovely flick to Shaqiri, who takes a loose touch, and Conte snaps it up. This is Pogba. Finds Griezmann. Griezmann launches it forward. Coman running in behind. Vidmer heads it past Sommer. Just, well, in the end, comfortably wide of that far post, but awful communication by Vidmer and Sommer. And it nearly was disastrous for the Swiss, but Coman didn't gamble, and also went comfortably wide of that far post, but it's going to be a corner to the French. That wouldn't have happened in the first half, but they're rattled now. They are rattled. So Griezmann to take this corner. It's going to be an in-swinger. Left-footed, whips it in, headed away powerfully by Seferovic at the front post, but comes back out straight away to Griezmann. Griezmann on his right foot, launches it in. Benzema gets a little shove in the back. Nothing doing there. Conte back to Rabiot. And Rabiot back to Conte, who just lets it run for Kimpembe, who's just pretty much dead centre in the centre circle. And Conte, who's also dead centre in the centre circle, plays it across to Pavard. He's just inside the Swiss half now. And he plays it back to Kimpembe. And Kimpembe across to Conte, who's filling in as a left centre-back at the moment. Down now, France, but Xhaka makes a burst. Conte picks it up, finds Pogba. Pogba now free from Xhaka's attention, finds Griezmann. Griezmann finds Benzema. Benzema's got Rabiot on the overlap. He finds Rabiot. Rabiot across for Mbappe. Cleared away at the near post. Poor header away. Comes out to Pogba, who lines it up and deflects for a corner. Didn't catch it cleanly, Pogba. I don't think it was going on target anyway. But going to be a corner. Hit off a white shirt. 70 minutes gone. France 2, Switzerland 1. That rapid-fire double from Karim Benzema. The first goal was absolutely delightful. Fantastic skill. Then just dinked it over Sommer. And then the second one, as all good strikers should be, lurking at the back post to nod in. Griezmann whips it in the corner, headed away at the near post. And it's going to be another, well, yeah, it's going to be another corner from the far side this time, from the near side, sorry. So it'll be an outswinger if Griezmann takes it. Akanji there. He's been really good this evening. I would feel bad for him if he does end up on the losing side. The Dortmund man, this is 33rd cap for his country, and he's played every minute of the tournament. It's Mbappe to take the corner instead. Mbappe whips it in. It's a good ball, and it comes out to Mbolo, though, now. Can the Swiss break? They've got a chance here. Zuba finds Mbolo. Mbolo got Zuba on the overlap, and he's halved by Pavard, but play continues. It's Zuba. Zuba into the box. Drills it across. Rabiot just comfortably brings it down. No real dart and run from Shaqiri to get in front of his man. Kimpembe, though, a bit loose in the box. Managed to get away with it. Pogba. And we're going to have a stoppage in play to deal with Mbolo's injury, as he was brought down pretty brutally by Pavard. slice through him, got nowhere near the ball. Did the French right back. Well done, the referee, allowing play to continue. Zuba, clever ball, but maybe not enough pace on it. But also, got to say, Shaqiri should be gambling there. Trying to get in front of the left back. Looks like we are going to have two changes. So Gavranovic is coming on, and so is Kevin Mbabu, the Wolfsburg right back. Gavranovic scored an offside goal against Wales, but he actually has a really good goal scoring record, 14 goals. 31-year-old Dinamo Zagreb striker. So they need a goal. He's probably the man. Poor giveaway by, well, we're going to have the substitution. So we'll see who comes off and who comes on. So it looks like Shaqiri is going off. Well, disappointing night from Xherdan Shaqiri. Certainly hasn't lived up to the high expectations that that everyone sets of him, really. And off goes Vidmer for Mbabu. So it's a like-for-like change there. So Gavranovic is up front. So it's 3 strikers for Switzerland now as they look to keep in fairness, they've never got past the round of 16, so this would be an achievement if they did. Ball forward, Mbabu loses it in the sky, and Koeman picks it up. Benzema, lovely close control to hold it up and then just play it back to Kimpembe. Finds Rabiot. So it'll be interesting to see. So it looks like Gavranovic is playing in the same position as Shaqiri, just sort of in behind. No, Mbolo, sorry, is playing that position instead. That's a nice pass by Pogba. Finds Koeman, who's in acres of space. Koeman lines it up. And comfortably dealt with by Jan Sommer. But in acres of space there was Kingsley Coman. So why not have a go? Didn't catch out what he liked. Comfortable save for Sommer. Rodriguez. Nice ball into Gavranovic. Finds Seferovic. Varane deals with it. Back to Lurie. And Lurie finds Rabiot. Rabiot into Pogba. Pogba just shoves off his man. He's been another level in this second half as Paul Pogba. That's a lovely ball into Mbappe as well, who's now gets to have a run. Benzema's made a run. Griezmann slips it into Benzema, and Benzema tries to get it back to Mbappe, and it's blocked once more. Mbappe just cannot get this goal. Koeman looking to take on Mbappe into the box. On his favourite right foot, plays it back to Benzema. Benzema lines up the effort, blocked by Akanji. Comes out to Pogba. Oh, what a goal by Paul Pogba that is. That is absolutely sensational from the Manchester United man. He gets out of his right foot and he just bends a sumptuous effort into the top corner to make it France 3, Switzerland 1. And it looks like France will be going through European Championships. Is a goal benefiting any game, worthy of winning any game, and it just is the talent that Pogba has on display, especially for his country. He becomes another player for his country. What a delicious goal. And out come all the celebrations, and why not? Totally deserved. It's been on another level in this second half. You just knew when it came to him. Deflects, he's about 25 yards out, bends it sumptuously into that top corner. Sommer is clawing at it with 2 hands, but he's got absolutely no chance with that. It is postage stamp stuff from Paul Pogba. And it's a long, long, long way back for the Swiss now. So 76 minutes in here, and it is France 3, Switzerland 1. And they're showing all the mentality that you would kind of expect from potential champions. They've been brilliant in the second half, especially all about Hugo Lloris, though. He deserves a lot of the credit. I think that's going to be a yellow card for Granit Xhaka, because if 2-0 there, it truly is a different game, but they use that as motivation and they've blown Pekovic's side away, who have played well. There is no question they've played well. This has been a test for France. It's not been maybe the walkover that some were expecting, and the scoreline at the moment is pretty flattering. If it was to get worse, it'd be even more flattering for the French, to be honest. But they're in free flow now. It's Koeman, the pace they've got on the break as well. It's Rabiot. Rabiot to Benzema. He's got Mbappe with him instead. Finds Benzema. Benzema on a hat-trick, remember. Back to Kingsley Coman. Coman! Straight at Jan Sommer. But they look in the mood now, do Lebler. And there's going to be more and more gaps opening up as Switzerland have to push forward and go for it. They can't just settle for a 3-1 defeat. This is knockout football. Elvedi into Mbabu. Mbabu back to Elvedi. He's certainly one who can come out with a lot of credit for the Swiss. Elvedi's been brilliant. As again, have the Swiss in truth. But ultimately, France's quality is told. Mbabu, ball forward, headed away by Kimpembe, picked up by Pogba. Pogba finds Griezmann. Griezmann finds Benzema. Mbappe was on the run straight away. Pogba's there. Finds Rabiot. Rabiot just hugging this near touchline. He's had very little to do defensively. Has Rabiot in the second half. Back to Kimpembe. Kimpembe into Varane. Varane finds Pogba. Pogba across to Kimpembe. Kimpembe finds the runner Rabiot. Mbabu closing him down. Rabiot scores some lovely feet. Glides past Mbabu, who's all over the back of him. Finds Coman. Play continues. Coman drills it in low. Left-footed. Mbappe was sliding in, but not the required cross from Coman on that occasion. Have left in the tank. It's Rodriguez who, God, he's going to be replaying that moment in his head, isn't he? Unfortunately, that missed penalty. What a difference that could have made. Rodriguez finds Gravanovic. This is some nice approach play into Zuba, who's been a standout player, and he's caused havoc for Pavard. And once again, he gets past him, but this time, the Bayern right back gets back at his man. Two subs for the Swiss now. On comes Christian Fasanacht, and off goes Zuba. Well, that is an odd one, I have to say, but Fasanacht has 2 goals and 2 assists in his last 3 games for his country. So, pretty good. And off goes Embolo. Very good first half from Embolo, but wasn't there for the second half. And on comes 22-year-old Augsburg winner, Ruben Vargas, who has 15 caps now and 2 goals. So what can the substitutes do for the Swiss? It's Freuler in towards Vargas. And it's Lery. And we've got 10 minutes or so plus stoppage time to go here in Bucharest. Lery bowls it out to Varane. Varane looks up and then just plays it back to Lery. And he clips one towards Rabiot. Rabiot picked up by Kanté. Finds Coman. Coman back to Kimpembe. And Kimpembe back to Varane. Varane under some slight pressure from Gravanovic, but then just launches it forward. Pavard was on the run, but straight out play for a throw. So the Swiss take the throw quickly, and Griezmann comes in and wins 2 tackles, but doesn't end up with the ball, unfortunately, from his point of view. Picked up by Freuler. Finds Fasanacht, who's in a little pocket of space, then tries to pick it out for Vargas. Good tackle by Fasanacht, finds Mbabu. Mbabu's got 3 men to aim for in the box. Mbabu whips it in, it's a brilliant ball, it's a goal for the Swiss, they're back in it, and it's Seferovic with his 2nd of the game. It's game on in Bucharest again. Brilliant cross by Kevin Mbabu on a plate for Seferovic, and he comes in with a glancing header, and it is France 3, Switzerland 2. So maybe there's a twist in the tail. Yeah, there was in the earlier game. Spain were 3-1 up, and Croatia came back to draw 3-3. And then, obviously, in the end, did lose 5-3 in extra time. But, well, we've got a game on our hands here. It's Mbabu. It's an absolutely delightful ball in by Kevin Mbabu. That. And Seferovic comes in with a powerful header. He's been brilliant all evening, and Nuri has no chance with that. Makes you wonder, should he have took the penalty? Well, what can France do now? Griezmann. Poor pass back to Pavard, but he managed to squeeze it out, and it's Mbappe. This game's really opening up now. It's Coman looking to take on Mbappe. Skips by him, Mbappe gets back at him. Comes out to Rabiot. And Rabiot's going to go back to Conte. Conte got loads of time and space. He slips it into Griezmann. Benzema beaten to it. Kimpembe with the first time ball. That's absolutely brilliant. It finds Pavard. And Pavard just comfortably brings it down into Benzema, who, well, wanted Pavard to make the run, but he finds Mbappe instead. And Mbappe beaten to it by Akanji. But it's in the corner, exactly where the French want it. Seferovic's third goal of the tournament, that one. And they've really given France a game here. Benzema. Wins his side of throw. Looks like we could be playing most of this game in the corner. Of time. 7 minutes or so plus stoppage time. This is Griezmann. Finds Benzema. Benzema looks to be fouled. Picked up by Griezmann. Finds Rabiot. Rabiot looking to line up the effort. Rabiot! Over the bar in the end from the Juventus man. He's not been his greatest evening, has to be said, but not a bad effort there. Not as good as his one in the first half. Akanji allowed a wonderful with the ball. Finds Freuler. Freuler over the halfway line. Flicks it out to Mbappe. Right centre-back row. Finds Freuler in the just inside his own half. In the centre circle. Into Rodriguez. Over the halfway line to... Well, it was Seferovic was looking for. It was Vargas who was trying to find him. This is Pogba, who's playing a bit of keepy-uppy with the ball. And doesn't win his side of throw in the end. But the confidence is flowing through Paul Pogba's veins. Conte misses the header. Freuler. Mbappe. Looking to get past Kingsley Coman, but Rabiot gets in there and helps it out his winger. Freuler finds Xhaka. Xhaka looking to free up Rodriguez, who's got time and space to cross. Cups back and past Rodriguez. Hits it. Might come out. It's squeezed into the net by Gavranovic, but he's offside. That was nearly the incredible comeback once again. But Rodriguez hit a shot right-footed. Gavranovic did well to squeeze it home. But the French look shaky in defence. Rodriguez drills it in. It's really close, this one, actually. Rabiot and Gavranovic. Rabiot could be playing him onside. This could be level. We'll have to see. Looked very, very close to me, that. And then we would be, incredibly, potentially going been disallowed. It has indeed been disallowed. Close, but well done to VAR being so quick. Makes a change from the Premier League. Looks like we're going to be having one more Swiss change. Mehdi perhaps. Wolfsburg attacking midfielder. Lots of caps for his country. Rodriguez lifts it forward. Gavranovic beaten to it. Kimpembe lashes it away. Anywhere will do now for France. It is indeed going to be Mehdi coming on. Can he be the hero for his side? Mbappe was a sub's already made a big impact down that right-hand side, getting that assist with that wonderful cross. Xhaka into Vargas. Finds Rodriguez. Rodriguez clips it forward. Gavranovic heads it down. Causing some problems is Gavranovic. Seferovic on a hat-trick, of course, as well. Finds Xhaka. Xhaka into Freuler. Freuler to Mbappe. Mbappe looking to take on Rabiot. Rabiot does well, especially when he's not naturally left back, but he stands his ground and holds off Mbabu, in the end fouls him and eats more precious seconds away for Petkovic's side. Here comes the change though. Off goes Ricardo Rodriguez, I believe. Indeed it is Ricardo Rodriguez who had that huge chance from the penalty spot. Larry denied him, but it wasn't the best penalty. He telegraphed it all the way, exactly what he was going to do. And then from there, it fell apart for France, for Switzerland, sorry. But they're back in the game. And with 3 minutes or so, plus stoppage time to go, they now have 4 strikers on the field. And on comes Moussa Sissoko for the French, off for Antoine Griezmann. So very clear what Didier Deschamps' priorities are now. This is Sissoko's 71st cap for his country. Very much a favourite of Deschamps, who gives Griezmann a nice reception. He leaves the field. Didn't get a goal or anything. It's probably France's best player. Sissoko, well, we know he's powerful, strong. He'll sit in, he'll break up play. It's probably exactly what they need. And, well, it's a yellow card for Kingsley Coman. Flail an arm in the direction of Mbabu. This is Mbabu slipping it into Mehdi. Mehdi doesn't win his side of throw, and the French will take that all day long. But this has been a serious game of football, and all of the games so far in the last 16 have been pretty much excellent. As the desperation to get through to the quarterfinals becomes apparent. Obviously, of course, we've got England tomorrow night against Germany, Ukraine and Sweden as well. Can those games live up to this sort of hype? We'll have to see. Pogba flicks it over his head, out of play. Anyway, I'll do at this point. Coming up to the 89th minute. Mbabu back to Elvedi. Switzerland just need to probably get the ball forward now, but it's with Akanji, but they're still being patient. Freuler back to Elvedi, who's under no pressure whatsoever. You'll have to think against Spain, France are going to have to not maybe press the ball a bit more than they have. Brilliant header away by Varane. Comes out to Xhaka, who thought he was going to shoot. Instead plays it in the box. Mehdi. Commanding goalkeeper Kimpembe gives him a congratulatory shake of the head. Not sure about that one. It's close, that one. Gravanovic was a bit more offside than I thought he was initially, actually. So apologies for that one. But Gravanovic now must feel unluckiest man in the tournament. I believe that's 2 goals he's had disallowed for VAR now. That's a strong tackle. And here come the Swiss. It's Xhaka. Xhaka plays a delightful ball into Gravanovic. It's Gravanovic! He's scored this time! I was just saying he's the unluckiest man in the tournament. Well, he's turned up there. It's a delightful ball by Xhaka. He comes onto his right foot and he buries it into the bottom corner. And it is France 3, Switzerland 3, and we are going to extra time. It looked like Pogba's goal had won it for France, but Gravanovic has come off the bench. He's had 1/18th goal for his country. It's a delightful finish, and the French cannot see this game out. And we will have 30 more minutes, and what a treat you all have in store for you, because it's been delightful, this match, especially the second half. Brilliant ball by Granit Xhaka. He's so... Kimpembe on his backside, and then he fires it into the far corner with lethal precision. And that is a massive, massive goal. And the Swiss fans in the stadium go absolutely mental, and why not? Their team have not given up. They've been fantastic, especially from going 3-1 down with about 15 minutes or so to go. what a treat you've had today in terms of goals. Ball played through by Pavard. Well, what do France have left in the tank? They haven't made many changes, so they've still got options off the bench should they need them. But they must have thought they've done enough. But either way, even if they get through defensively, very, very shaky. Akanji drills it forward. Kimpembe wins the header. Rabiot into Moussa Sissoko. Sissoko looks up, pings it over towards Mbappe. Elvedi heads it away, only as far as Kingsley Coman. Coman looking to take on Mbappe. And back. He's tackled. And as I was saying about Gavranovic, honestly, he would have forgot about all those moments there after that one. That's what football's made for, moments like that. No matter what happens from here, he will never forget that moment when he got a last-minute equaliser against the French to keep his side in the tournament. This is Conte into the box. Conte holds it up well, but Mbappe comes back at him just as he was about to deliver his cross. Seferovic keeps it in. He's been absolutely brilliant. Conte comes flying in for a tackle. Got a minute to go until the full-time whistle, and then we'll have a little break, and then we'll have extra time. Elvedi into Akanji. I think Swiss are very happy for extra time at this point. Xhaka finds Freuler. Through the French defensive line, Xhaka drills the ball through. It's brought down by Mehmedi. That was potentially the chance, but Lurie, reading it so well, comes out and snatches it off him. Otherwise, that could have been the moment that Switzerland snatched the game. Pavard with a delightful ball over the top for Sissoko, who's going to do well to keep that in. Sissoko gets there ahead of Vargas. Now, what can Sissoko do? He should play as a winger for Newcastle. Does well. Gets on his left foot, onto his right foot. Sissoko gets it into the box. It comes for Coman. Coman! It's the crossbar! That was nearly the winner. What a strike by Kingsley Coman. Sissoko did brilliantly. Clips it to the back post. Coman brought it down on the half volley. Rattles the bar and away to safety. What an unbelievable match we have seen here today. Sommer has got absolutely no chance for that one. Coman cracked. Time whistle. It was pretty much the last kick of the game. What an unbelievable match you've seen here. It was 1-0 to the Swiss thanks to Haris Seferovic. Then it was 2-1, 3-1 to the French thanks to a quick-fire double from Benzema after a missed penalty by Ricardo Rodriguez. Then Pogba scored an absolute worldie to make it 3-1. It looked like it was all over. Well, it wasn't. Seferovic got in with a brilliant bullet header to get his second of the game and put some hope. Gavranovic had a goal disallowed for offside. He must have thought, well, that's it, but no. Gets a brilliant pass by Xhaka, cuts inside on his right foot, sits Kimpembe down, rifles it in the bottom corner. And the final score here at Bucharest is Switzerland 3, France 3. Russ, what about that?
What a game, Jack Cunningham. Thank you for fantastic commentary and talking us through the 90 minutes there. And Jack, I must say, I did say earlier, Jack, to you, that I think he could go to extra time.
You did.
Potentially.
You did.
And you didn't think he would. And I was right again. Will France win 5-3 in extra time, like Spain did earlier, Jack, for you? Or do you think it will go to penalties?
I don't think... I'm going to say it, even though I said that I thought France would win in normal time, and I got that wrong. Although, they were in the lead, so... I don't think it'll go to penalties. I think France will... Well, one of these teams are going to win in extra time because neither of them can defend. It was so open that second half. It was incredible. Like the first half, Switzerland defended tightly, but then since then, it was that second half was genuinely end-to-end stuff. No one defended, no one closing anyone down. Exactly what you want to say as a neutral. Can't imagine the coaches were too happy. But yeah, I mean, I think one of these teams will win it in extra time. I wouldn't be surprised if Switzerland win it now because they've got that momentum.
Yes, and when we say to the listeners out there, do not listen to Jack. He said he won't go to extra time. He did. I'm going to call him now, Jack. I said he'd go to extra time. I'm going to call him now. He'll be either won by Switzerland with the last kick of extra time, or we will have penalties.
Fair enough. Fair
But,
enough. I mean,
Jack, a question for you, my friend, before you move on.
Yep.
I think you know what question that's going to be, mate.
Yep.
Man of the match for you today.
I mean, I'll have to give it properly after extra time, but I mean, Zuba was unbelievable. Pogba in the second half was just another level. Xhaka, I mean, I don't know what's happening to him, but he was fantastic. I can't give you one yet, Russ. I'll have to give it at the end of extra time. It's hard. I'll tell you who's not man of the match. Pavard. He's been horrible at right back for France. Out of position, give away the penalty. Obviously, Larry, makes that save. You think, I was saying, the momentum's totally with France now. They came back, they got the goals. What a lovely goal that was by Benzema to start things off. And then you just think that's the moments that champions sort of go on and win. But fair play to Switzerland. They're not giving up on this. And I mean, the second goal, the Mbabu cross, what a brilliant ball in by him. And then Gavranovic, lovely composure, as you would sort of expect from a striker. 1 and 2 goal record for his country. So it's had everything this game, hasn't it? It's had everything.
It has had everything indeed. We've had a comment in who's asking us to show the screen. Unfortunately, we cannot show you the screen because of copyright. This is an audio commentary for you to listen to. If you're from the UK, find it on the station there. But if you abroad, find it on your station wherever you live and watch it there and sync up the commentary to your pictures. And Wayne went off the half-past 9 and says he was going offline due to some work. Says thanks for his efforts, really enjoyed it, and I'll be back tomorrow for more coverage. And yes, tomorrow, just before we get into extra time, Jack, tomorrow we've got England against Germany at 5 o'clock with Jack Cunningham, with John Kane, should I say? You're not back tomorrow, Jack. I almost said you were. And then I'll be on, Jack, at 8 o'clock. So when you're on your way home from the pub, you can listen to Sweden against Ukraine with myself. So you'll be able to hear me on commentary tomorrow. Well, hopefully, I mean, my game doesn't go to extra time tomorrow.
Yeah. Them games have something to live up to, don't they? The 2 games today.
They do, yes.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yes, the players are ready for the first half of extra time. We've just kicked off, so let me hand back over to your match commentator for the first period of extra time. Is Jack Cunningham.
So, I mean, how do France or Switzerland deal with this? Is it going to be more gung-ho? Is it going to be a bit more cagey? Well, straight away, Mbappe finds Benzema. Benzema manages to get it across to Pavard, who comes flying across, leaves a foot in, and that is going to be a yellow card for Pavard, who I'm very surprised he hasn't been booked already, to be honest. Shocking that he's still on the field, really. So late to that there. Mehdi was there miles before. No need to leave his foot in. But yeah, it's France 3, Switzerland 3. We nearly had a winner right at the end as well, with Koeman rattling the bar. But it wasn't to be for Kingsley Coman on that occasion. What do either of these teams still have there in the locker? That's the question. It's Akanji across to, obviously now Switzerland kicking from right to left. Akanji finds Xhaka, who, that pass, absolutely world class from Granit Xhaka. And they need to play another one as well that Mehdi was inches away from getting on the end of. This is Vargas, who we've not seen anything of as of yet. Finds Mehdi into Xhaka. Akanji finds Elvedi. Elvedi driving forward with the ball into the French half. Finds Fasanac, sorry. This is now Gavranovic, the goal scorer. Taking on Kimpembe. Getting to the byline, drills it across and wins a inside a corner. So easy once again, though, for the Swiss there to get through the French midfield. Conte trying to cover all the ground. Pogba has been excellent on the ball, but I think you could argue that maybe off the ball hasn't been so good. But this is a chance now for the Swiss. Seferovic there lurking on a hat-trick. Top goal scorer in the 2018-19 season in the Portuguese League, Seferovic, and he showed that form tonight. Ball whipped in, near post, flicked on by Mehmedi. It was actually a decent effort. It was straight at Leree though in the end. And Leree, first time ball up towards, it's an Mbappe in a race. Well, too long from Leree, and Sommer is going to ball out. He's looked a very frustrated figure, has Kylian Mbappe. But we all know how good he is. He's still got that moment to shine in the game as Benzema is down, totally off the ball. That is not what anyone of a French persuasion wants to see. He's limping away now is Karim Benzema. Obviously got the double, equaling Zidane's record earlier in that second half. Got a very good reception from the large number of French fans scattered around the ground. And he is replaced by Olivier Giroud, France's second top goal scorer, and he's only 5 behind Henry. Well, I said that Giroud's a man for the big occasion. He gets big goals for his country, he gets big goals for his club. Well, this would be a time, wouldn't it, to get another one of those huge goals. This is Xhaka. Xhaka finds with Xhaka's Conte was flying in there, bundled his man to the floor, and away come the French through Moussa Sissoko's. Plays a right winger now. This is Pogba, Conte. Into Rabiot. Rabiot got Koeman out wide with him. Mbappe inside, tries to play it into Giroud, and it's not the best cross from Rabiot behind Giroud. Pogba, back to Pavard, who finds there. Into Koeman. Koeman looking to drive past Mbappe. Gets to the byline. So easy for Kingsley Coman. Gets it across over everyone. It's Pavard! Oh, what a save by Yann Sommer. Denying Benjamin Pavard. Sticks out a huge right hand to divert it over the bar, and keep the score at 3-3. Pavard did really well, actually, because Koeman came fizzing into him, and he controlled it with his left foot and then just sort of hooked it towards goal with his right foot. And it's an excellent save by Sommer because he's unsighted. But he is a top quality goalkeeper, and sure, just that to be taken in swinger. Looks like it's Mbappe to take. Mbappe whips it in. It's a really good ball. Pogba can't get there. Sissoko all the way back to Kimpembe. Kimpembe finds Conte. Conte clips it across to Sissoko. Sissoko back to Pavard. Pavard finds Pogba. Leree. 5 minutes of extra time gone here. Still France 3, Switzerland 3, but what a treat we have had this evening. 14 goals across both games so far. Varane, Sissoko, just about keeps it. Well, it doesn't keep it in play at all. And on comes Fabian Schär for Haris Seferovic. So no hat-trick for Seferovic this evening. He's ran himself into the ground. He's been sublime. One was a bullet header, one was an excellent guided header, but his all-round play, brilliant. Well-deserved, huge standing ovation for Haris Seferovic. And on comes the Newcastle United 29-year-old defender Schär, who has taken penalties for Newcastle before. So is Petkovic thinking about the penalty shootout? Looks like he could be. In fact, in the last game of the season, Schär scored Newcastle's last goal from the penalty spot. Did start the first 2 games, but was horrible in the second game, as were many of the Swiss players, in fairness, but dropped since then. What can he do now? Always a very sublime player on the ball is Cher, but can be lackadaisical in his defending. Coleman might get there. Mbabu gets there ahead of Rabiot. This is Mbabu. He's got 4 in the box. Conte, he gets past him. Mbabu to the byline, drills it across Varane with an excellent last-ditch tackle. And now Coleman has all that free space to run into. Finds Mbappe. Mbappe, that terrible touch, and Akanji's all over him. And it has not been Mbappe's night, but he wins the ball back now. And he manages to squeeze it out to Coleman. Coleman looking to take on Elvedi. Coleman to the byline. Hits it in the side netting. He's causing havoc, though, is Kingsley Coleman. Since he's come on, he's just got extra legs, that extra yard of pace. Seems incredible that Bayern could be willing to let him go. This summer, the likes of Liverpool have been linked. What a signing he would be for Jurgen Klopp's men. Going back that one, Mbabu did everything right, and Gavranovic knows how close he was to a tap in to make it 4-3. But he's been brilliant since he came on, Mbabu. And just as I was praising Kingsley Coleman, he's now down injured. So Coleman looking to be replaced by Marcus Thuram, who is, of course, Lilian Thuram's son. And this will be his 4th cap for France. He got 11 goals last season in all comps for Borussia Mönchengladbach. It doesn't look good for Kingsley Coleman, who, as I was saying, commentators curse there for him, unfortunately. He has been causing havoc this evening. But it doesn't look like he's going to be causing much more havoc. He'll definitely want to continue, but the question is, can he? He's having a word with the physio. I think he's saying he's fine. I don't think the physio believes he's fine. Well, we'll have to see. Having come on as a substitute and made a big impact on this game, Thuram back with his bib on. I'm not going to be seeing any of him as of yet. Oh, as a wave goes, a Mexican wave. We've missed this, haven't we? Just crowds. So great crowd in tonight as well in the first game actually Bucharest is hosting this tournament. This is Cher playing as the left-sided centre-back as it stands. Into Akanji, who's been solid as a rock and dealt with Mbappe very well. Freuler finds Xhaka. Xhaka looks up, clips one over the top. It's inviting. It's brought down by Vargas. But Varane reads it and gets across. Clears it ahead of the Augsburg forward. But Xhaka has really rolled back the years with this sort of performance. And I say roll back the years, he's only 28, but you know, he's had a rough time at Arsenal. On the whole. But this shows you how quality he can be. This is Xhaka. As he comes flying in with a challenge there. Lovely flick by Giroud. Conte has got Mbappe with him. It's Mbappe one-on-one with Elvedi. Got Giroud coming up alongside. Clips it across to Sissoko, who puts it out of the ground. I don't know why Musa Sissoko was tried the first time volley there. He's never scored anything like that in his career. Don't know why he thought he was going to do it on that occasion. But he sliced it miles into the air and miles wide. And Mbappe can be annoyed with his teammate's choice there. Xhaka looks like he's injured himself, going in for a full-blooded challenge on Paul Pogba. Pogba kicked through him as he went to get the ball. No intent from Pogba, but a bit of a sore one for Xhaka. Quite quiet extra time, really. 11 minutes in. Not really either side really done too much. Good save from Jan Sommer to deny Pavard, and Mbabu's cross was inches away from being converted by Gavranovic. This ball's in behind for Fasanacht, and Lurie just has to clear it. Willing runner by Fasanacht there. It was just a hopeful ball in behind by Cher. Xhaka finds Vargas, who tries to shift it past Pavard. Can't on this occasion, wins his throw instead. Gavranovic round the corner to Vargas. Pavard dives in but wins the ball on this occasion. Mehmedi slips it into Vargas. Vargas tackled by Pavard. And it's going to be a corner to the Swiss. Still France 3, Switzerland 3 here in Bucharest. Share up from the back. Akanji up there, Elvedi up there. Vargas to deliver. Could be an in-swinger from him. Vargas now into the box. Headed away by Rabiot. Up rather than away though. Pavard beaten to it by Akanji. Giroud gets his body in. It might drop for a white shirt in the end. Mehmedi can't get there. It could bounce for Mehmedi. And it does, and he slashes his shot wide of the far post, but absolute pinball in the French box there. They couldn't clear their lines. And Mehmedi's shot in the end didn't trouble Lery. Attempted clearance by Pogba. They sort of end up kicking it off each other, and then in the end that could have turned out a lot worse for France. Well, we're going to have a penalty check here. And nothing doing. I didn't even see what it was for, so can't have been anything too major. Lery has the ball spotted up now, and he's got Giroud to aim for, and he launches towards Giroud, who goes up and flicks it off Granit Xhaka, his former Arsenal teammate. This is Pavard into Varane. Varane clips one into Giroud. Giroud can't bring that down. It's going to run through for Yann Sommer. And we're about a minute away from the end of the first half in extra time. Elvedi carrying it forward. Into Mehmedi. Mehmedi into Xhaka. Xhaka allowed to find Vargas, who's one-on-one with Pavard. Into the box, Vargas, then moves it back to Xhaka, who curls it in all the way through for Mbabu, who manages to turn a goal kick into a throw-in. Rabiot to take. We're going to have a minute of added time here. On the first 15 minutes. Rabiot slices it in the air. It's not a great clearance. Pogba needs to get in there. Pogba wins his header. Conte finds Giroud. Conte now looking to drive forward with the ball. I know he's quick, Conte, but he was never going to get on the end of that one. This is Sommer. Sommer out his feet. Sprays it into Elvedi. Elvedi clips it forward. Picked up by Rabiot, who's driving inside from his left-back position. Slips it into Mbappe. Lovely touch by Mbappe. Finds Sissoko, who's got Giroud there. Drills it in Sissoko first time. Great defending by Fabian Schär. Pavard. Back to Varane. Varane back into Pavard. And there goes the half-time whistle. So it's still France 3, Switzerland 3. Not really a lot to talk about in that first half. Teams looking a bit tired, perhaps. I'd say the best chance was Pavard's hooked effort that Sommer tipped over the bar. But apart from that, not too much to talk about. So still, half-time here, half-time of extra time, sorry. France 3, Switzerland 3.
Yes, and we'll be back with Jack very shortly for the second half of extra time, where it is still France 3, Switzerland 3. If you're enjoying the coverage and not hit the subscribe button on either Mike Ornamen's YouTube channel, the official Commentary Hub channel on YouTube, and JB Sports on YouTube. Why not give them all three, if you can, subscription and hit the notification bell so you know every time a video goes live on all three of the pages. Also, when I go on live Commentary Hub 2, the Commentary Hub 2 as well, and give that a follow, give that a subscribe on YouTube as well. Also, when I follow us on Twitter, it is a Commentary Live 1. And when I go across to Twitch and find us over there where we're broadcasting right now to keep across all of our coverage for the remainder of Euro 2020 in the competition. And we'll be getting ready for game coming up in the second period of extra time coming up in a couple of minutes. We're just awaiting the half time of extra time to be over, and we'll get the still no breakthrough yet. Jack, who do you think will be the happier of the two of this mini break in extra time, my friend?
Probably Switzerland. I mean, they brought on Cher to take a penalty, I would assume. So I think, they fancy their luck of penalties. I think France will want to try and get it won in this 15 minutes that they've got left, but they'd look on their feet, to be honest. He does still have options on the bench, but I don't know if Deschamps trusts them because he hasn't used them as of yet. So, yeah, I mean, I think Switzerland would be more happy, to be fair.
Yes, with the second half of extra time about to go underway by coveted Jack Cunningham.
Thanks, Russ. So it's going to be the Swiss kicking from left to right, and it's Gavranovic to get us underway. It's Xhaka into Gavranovic. He plays it back to Cher. Cher into Kanji, back to Cher. Cher left-footed, ball forward, intercepted by Conte, but Fassenak's going to give that a run, and Larry has to slice his clearance away. Sissoko heads towards Pogba. Going to drops for Conte. This is Coman. Coman finds Rabiot, who's just slowly wandered forward over the halfway line. Finds Conte. Conte finds Mbappe. Lovely turn by Kylian Mbappe. Finds Giroud. Back to Mbappe. Xhaka reads the pass brilliantly and then slides it into Freuler, and Gavranovic is then taken out by, well, looks like he was taken out by Kimpembe, but play continues with Sissoko into Varane. Varane finds Conte. Conte finds Rabiot. Rabiot into Coman. Conte. Mbappe, lovely turn. But Elvedi gets back at him. It's just not happening this evening for Kylian Mbappe, and the ball has now hit the referee, so we'll have a drop ball. Still looking sharp, Mbappe, but just that final touch and finish just have eluded him this evening. Mbappe, ball down the line, seeking the run off Fassenak, but cleared. And it'll be a French throw just on the halfway line. Rabiot to take. Comes back to him. He just about keeps it in play, but only keeps it in play for Xhaka. Mehdi beaten to it easily. Pogba overruns him, and away come the French. Mbappe slipped in. Is he? No, he's not. Vargas comes back, and we're going to come back for a foul. It's going to be another yellow card. Flying around these yellow cards now. Clever ball by Pogba towards Mbappe, but brilliant interception in the end. Akanji just takes out Paul Pogba. No attempt to get the ball at all. Brilliant interception by Vargas, though, because Mbappe was in one-on-one. Conte just plays it short into Pavard. He's got time and space to get his cross in. Pavard. And free kick goes the way of Switzerland. Giroud's not happy. This is Shed, just slowly running forward, back on his favourite right foot and drills an absolutely unbelievable pass in the direction of Mbabu, but Larry reads it and also keeps it in his box and quickly balls it out to Koeman. Koeman finds Conte, who skips by Xhaka and then skips by another one. A one-man machine is Conte. Koeman just drifts by Freuler. It's Mbappe! And it's wide of the far post. It's just not happening for Mbappe this evening or this whole tournament. We're 19 minutes into extra time here. It's still France 3, Switzerland 3. Lovely play by Koeman there. Pulled it back to Mbappe. Just didn't catch it cleanly. I think Sommer would have had it covered anyway. Good tackle. Sissoko. Conte, who's swarmed upon by Gavranovic, but France come away with the ball. Rabiot into Koeman. Koeman twists past Mbabu. Referee continues play. Mbabu, it's Pogba, it's Mbappe, he's in behind this time. And he sliced it wide of the near post from about 6 yards out. Brilliant ball in behind by Paul Pogba. And that was the chance for Mbappe, but sliced it horribly wide and he's injured himself in the process. Great play by Koeman. Absolutely sublime ball in behind by Pogba. It looked perfect for Kylian Mbappe to potentially wrap the game up. But it really is not his tournament. Skews it into that near side netting. And Marcus Thuram is on the field and Kingsley Coman has gone off, so maybe that injury got the better of him in the end. Yeah, it looks like it did. But Thuram's big, powerful, strong, fast. It's pretty much exactly what you want in extra time. But here come the Swiss. It's a ball in and Larry claims it. So we're 9 minutes or so to go until penalties. Kimpembe finds Thuram. Thuram taken on Mbabu. Shoves past Mbabu easily. I'm going to drive past Freuler now. It's going to be a corner. And France are growing into this one as we approach the end of the game. Mbappe to take the corner, which is... I found that a bit unusual, I have to say. Why a striker such as that is taking the corner, but he's taking it quickly into Rabiot. Rabiot pulls it back towards Mbappe, but Vargas comes across and deals with it. Pogba to take this throw, leaves it for Rabiot. Rabiot finds Thuram. And Thuram catches Freuler, and it'll be a free kick to the Swiss, and that pressure's been relieved. Sommer to take this. Thumps it down the ground. Kimpembe comes climbing over his man. Nelvedi lets it bounce, that's a mistake, but then he deals with it in the end. And Mbabu back to Xhaka, and in the end Switzerland have dealt with that rather nicely. Akanji. Bit of a nothing ball, but Rabiot's in a bit of a race with Fasanacht, who's willing runner and also got some pace. Thuram trying to roll Mbabu, but Wolfsburg man not tricked by it on that occasion. Finds Mehmedi. Mehmedi into Mbabu again. Freuler. Xhaka with a clever ball in the direction of Mehmedi, but Rabiot gets there. Finds Conte. Conte finds Mbappe. Giroud. Pogba, first time ball. Wonderful ball into Thuram. Thuram into the box. Squares it across to Giroud. And I think it's hit Mbappe in the end, incredibly. And it's bounced wide for a goal kick. Pogba can't believe it because he started the move there. A divine ball out to Thuram. First time on the half volley. Perfectly weighted for Thuram. Thuram does everything right here, in fairness. Plays it across to Giroud. And with 6 minutes or so to go until penalties, France are the ones who turn in the screw, but they just can't quite get that goal at the moment. Pogba. Giroud wins the header. Picked up by Cher. Cher finds Akanji into Xhaka. Xhaka back to Akanji. Sommer finds Cher once more. Ball round the corner, cleared by Varane. Poor clearance. This could be the chance for Switzerland now. It's Gavranovic. He's taking a bit of a loose touch, and Varane has come in with an absolutely perfectly timed challenge because he's on a yellow card, and there was a 3-on-3 break there. Sissoko looks like he's taken out. Varane had to make that tackle, and he knows it. Kimpembe carrying it forward, finds Thuram. Back to Rabiot. Pogba finds Pavard. Pavard finds Mbappe once more. This is Pogba again. Sissoko. Pogba. What can he create once again? Has he got one more moment of magic in his feet? He tries to wriggle his way through 1-2. Conte wins the ball high up the field. Elvedi, Xhaka. Pogba into Pavard. Pavard sends his cross in. Thuram was arriving at the back post, but dealt with and then smashed away by Fasanacht in the direction of Gavranovic. Headed up rather than away. Rabiot gets there this time. It might run here for Mehmedi. It does. Comes back to Xhaka. He's in no rush. I think they're after penalties, the Swiss. Again, in absolute no rush. No one in a blue shirt pressing him either. Akanji. Cher. Fires a ball in the direction of Fasanacht. It's a brilliant ball, but he can't keep it in play. And France have 3 minutes to get a winner before pens. You can feel the tension in the stadium now. It's been an epic, an absolute epic game of football, but that quarter-final spot, you can feel both sets of players know how close it is and probably know that it might be decided by penalties. Xhaka standing over it. This free kick for the Swiss. One last chance, perhaps. They take it short to Akanji. Akanji walks out slowly and then hits a shot from about 35 yards out, and it's headed away by Pavard, and it's Sissoko in a race with Vargas, and it's going to be a French ball, and Sissoko to take the throw, back to Pogba, into Sissoko, back to Pogba into Varane, across to Kimpembe. Kimpembe carries the ball forward and then slips it into Rabiot. He sends a cross in. It's poor and it's cleared away easily by Elvedi. Kimpembe now going to run. Tries to find Mbappe. It's given away. Oh, it's going to be a free kick against Gavranovic. Taken quickly. Conte finds Mbappe. Taken on Mbabu. Sends it in the box. There's only one blue shirt in there. Conte. Pogba. Kimpembe now floats it in. It's Giroud! And it's denied by Yann Sommer. That was Giroud's moment. It's a clever floated ball, Kimpembe. And there was Giroud, like he always is, at the back post. Got up high. Got his header on target, but in the end, comfortable for Yann Sommer. Yeah, and this could be the final chance of the game. Gavranovic, who's ran himself into the ground since he's come on, obviously got the goal. Silly foul by Rabiot, who has had a pretty rough game, in all honesty, at left back, and it's things like that. No, literally no need for it. And it's a chance for Granit Xhaka to potentially win this match for the Swiss. He scored goals like this for Arsenal before. He scored from this distance before. Very similar goal earlier in the season, actually, against Chelsea, I believe. But he still can score from here. It's Xhaka. He steps up, he hits it, and it's well over the bar. And we're into the added time. It looks like it's going to be penalties. I was wrong again on the predictions. I really should stop making them. Deschamps already getting his men in. And there is the full-time whistle, actually. I thought they were playing a minute extra, but there is the full-time whistle. So the final score here, it is France 3, Switzerland 3. And this game will be decided by a penalty shootout. What incredible drama and tension we have here, Russ.
Yes, Jack, incredible drama on the way. And Jack, you said you decide after extra time for your man of the match. Have you made your decision yet on who's going to be the man of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services, which we can just talk about until we get ready for all the penalties to be taken?
Yeah, I've actually got to give it. Yeah, I've actually got to give it to someone now. It's a tough one, but I think I'm going to give it to Elvedi, the Swiss right-sided centre-back. I think he's been absolutely excellent, especially from the first minute where it looked like Mbappe was going to pretty much have him all game. But since then, he hasn't put a foot wrong. He's been everywhere. He's dealt with Koeman well. He's dealt with Mbappe well. He's dealt with Thuram well. He's just been sublime. So I'm going to give it to Elvedi.
Yes, good choice as well for man of the match. He was up there if I was at to. If you hadn't, Jack's all going to say is if you hadn't chosen who was going to be the man of the match, I was going to say I had an idea and see if you'd agreed with me. And Elvedi was the choice which I had in mind. So great minds think alike. Indeed. And also, Jack, if you look at who do you think would be happy of the two managers? Obviously, I know you're probably going to say Switzerland will probably be the happiest of the two sides, but of the two managers, should I say? But is that correct? Do you reckon the Swiss boss will be the happier of the two managers?
Well, I thought that, and then obviously, I don't know when, for example, later on in the game when Switzerland got the ball sort of in the French half, I know France haven't been pressing for most of the game for some reason, but there was literally no interest to press at all. So I wonder if France accepted penalties as well.
Yes, it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
So if we're going to get ready now for penalties, we're just deciding who's going to be taking each spot kick, who's up for taking each spot kick, and which order they will take. And Jack, I'm going to put you in the shoes now of Didier Deschamps, the French manager. Who would your 5 penalty takers be, and which order as well?
I'm not sure about which order, but Mbappe has got to take one. I don't know. It just hasn't been his night. You know, he had that chance towards the end where where it looked like it was perfect, and he just skewed it wide in the end. Pogba takes one for me. Giroud takes one for me. Possibly Varane. Because I'm not sure about Sissoko's composure. I'm not sure about Thuram's composure. I've got to say, I think Switzerland might actually have the better choice of penalty takers on the field. They've got Xhaka, they've got Cher, they've got Gavranovic, they've got Mehdi. You know, France took off Griezmann, didn't they? Coleman's had to come off. And
Yes, it'll
Benzema
be
went off.
interesting.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Right then.
Be interesting to see. They're going down to the end where I think he's got the French fans at that end of the stadium, some Swiss down there at that end as well. So they'll be getting ready for the penalty shootout. Right now, the referee's just talking to the 2 goalkeepers, and then we'll see who's going to be stepping up first. But to tell you through what's going to be the nervy moment if you are a France or Switzerland fan, I'm going to hand you over to our match commentator for the penalty shootout. It's Jack Cunningham.
Well, I don't think many people apart from Russ, saw this game going to penalties, so fair play. But I think Lloris won the toss and decided to go for the end, in which he saved the penalty. But it looks like it's going to be Gavranovic against Lloris first up. So Gavranovic obviously got the equalising goal now. Can he deal with the pressure and score from the spot, or can Lloris be the hero once again and get France off to the perfect start in the shootout? Referee very clear about the fact that Lloris has to be behind the line. And apparently can't jump him down anymore, so interesting. Okay, it's Gavranovic to take. Gavranovic against Lloris. Oh, great penalty from Gavranovic. Smashes it high to the left-hand corner as we look at it. Lloris dived the wrong way. Perfect start for Switzerland. Power like that. So who will be up first for France? It will be Paul Pogba, who scored that marvellous goal to make it 3-1, and even throughout it was creating some glorious chances. His passing was sublime. Can he now score from the spot, Pogba, against Yann Sommer? It's a long run-up from the Manchester United man. Long wait as well. Pogba steps up, slams it into the top corner. That is an absolutely beautiful penalty from Paul Pogba. Literally unstoppable, even if you had 2 goalkeepers. Sums up his game, that really. Pogba with some words of encouragement to Lloris. Although Lloris wears the captain's armband, Pogba is certainly one of the on-field captains. And it is Fabian Schär. That's a very relaxed penalty style, usually does Schär. Can he score from the spot against Lloris? Schär steps up and passes it calmly to the other side. Lovely penalty by the ice-cool centre-back. Never in doubt, really. And now comes Olivier Giroud. The man for the big occasion. Can he deliver for his country once more? Pretty short run up from Giroud. It's Giroud against Sommer. And Giroud slams it into the net. It's 2-2 on penalties. It's a good penalty from Giroud. Sends Sommer the wrong way. Hard and low into the bottom corner. No chance. Some excellent penalties so far from both sides. You can feel the tension in the stadium. As up steps Akanji, the Borussia Dortmund man. He was another one who I would have said would have been in contention for man of the match, despite his side conceding 3 goals. Thought he was brilliant as well. A lot of last-ditch tackles now. Can he deliver from the spot? Larry trying some mind games. It's Akanji, and he calmly puts it into the corner. Larry didn't even move. And it's 3-2 Swiss. Sort of got him with a hop, skip and a jump, Larry, and he was out of it before Akanji had even stepped up to the plate. It's going to be a hero for his country, Lilian. Can Marcus perhaps take one step to emulating his dad? Looking directly at his teammate, of course, as well. They both play for Mönchengladbach. It's Thuram. He just squeezes it in. Sommer dived the right way, but Thuram finds the net. That's the most important thing. So it's 3-3 so far. Good penalty from Thuram, in fairness. Sommer was close to it. And it's Vargas now. Augsburg winger. Came on as a sub, looked lively. Made an absolutely crucial intervention at one point where it looked like Mbappe was going to be in one-on-one. What can he do from the spot? Can barely look. It's Vargas. And he's... Oh, Lloris has got a hand to it, but it's squeezed into the net. Should Lloris have saved that there? Got a huge right hand to it, but he couldn't keep it out. And it's 4-3 to the Swiss. Hit with pace from Vargas, but I think Lloris would be disappointed. And it's Presnel Kimpembe stepping up now. The left-footed PSG centre-back. Can he find the net? Or will we have our first miss at such a crucial time as well? Kimpembe eyes on Sommer. Steps up. Kimpembe slams it into the top corner. That's a class penalty from Presnel Kimpembe. No doubt about that. Dive the right way once again, Sommer, but no chance on that one. It's Mehdi, and it's 4-4 on pens. So it's Mehdi, the substitute. Can he make it 9 out of 9 penalties so far? It's been absolutely superb standard. Mehdi steps up, sends Lloris the wrong way, and finds the net to make it 5-4. And this is some penalty shootout. Calmness personified there from the Wolfsburg striker. And up steps Kylian Mbappe now. This has not been Mbappe's evening at all. He's missed several chances for his side. Is he going to miss the penalty that sends them out of the Euros? It's Mbappe to keep his country's hopes alive. Mbappe denied by Jan Sommer. Well, I think... Oh no, it's given. It's been... We have a winner. It's Switzerland. Jan Sommer has denied Mbappe, and the Swiss are going through to the quarterfinals of the European Championships. Mbappe has missed the crucial penalty to knock his side out. He was the hero of the World Cup in 2018. Well, he's the villain now, and the pre-tournament favourites, France, are out of the Euros. Switzerland will play Spain. It was a thrilling, fascinating, unbelievable, enthralling game of football, but at the end of it, Vladimir Pekovic's side are through to the quarterfinals for the first time ever in the European Championships. France are devastated. The Swiss are delighted. Switzerland are through to the Euros, the Euro quarterfinals.
What a game, Jack Cunningham. Brilliant coverage of the game, Jack. Once again, fantastic, top-class coverage from you from this game tonight. Switzerland against France. What a game. Or France against Switzerland. What a game. This is what, Jack, and I'm just going to say something to you now. I put this out on Facebook as it was in extra time, and I think this statement is going to be true. This is why we love football. The two games that we've had today, where Spain won after extra time, Switzerland have won on penalties, and this is why we love football.
This is why we love football, Russ. It was... France looked to be through, didn't they? Well, first of all, they looked dead and buried when it looks like they're going to get the penalty to go 2-0 up. And Reece saves it. You think the momentum's there. They're 3-1 up with 15 minutes to go. Seferovic gets one back. You still think, I don't know, Switzerland haven't done enough, but Gavranovic with, in the 89th minute, snatches the equaliser. Then extra time. It's cruel for Mbappe, isn't it? I mean, what a player he is, but it's not been his tournament at all, has it? No goals, and then he misses the last penalty. It's not a good penalty, is it? It's comfortable height for Sommer, and then obviously we had the brief wait to find out if Sommer was behind the line or not. But genuinely unbelievable stuff, and Deschamps' side never really fired, apart from in that second half. That was probably the best they played all tournament in the second half, but it wasn't enough. And Switzerland v Spain, what a game that could be.
Yes, what a game that could be, Jack. I said to you, Jack, before kick-off, I think it's going to go all the way to penalty extra time. It did. And then just before I went to extra time, I said it was either going to be penalties or Switzerland to win in the last kick of extra time. It went to penalties. I didn't make a prediction for penalties, but if I did, Jack, I would have said Switzerland would have going to win on penalties. I just had that feeling that France's luck today had ran out, and that was the case. So, Switzerland are through. They will play Spain in the first quarter-final at 5 o'clock on Friday. Hopefully, we'll bring you that one to you on the commentary hub. But Jack, from myself and Jack, but before I wrap up, Jack, once again, fantastic coverage from you today, and what a game of football, my friend. And once again, this is why we love football in the end. And fantastic coverage from today. So, from myself, Jack, Mike, and the commentary up team, we thank you very much for tuning in. Join us tomorrow when we bring you England against Germany and Sweden against Ukraine. Hopefully, more drama like this one tonight, in the game between Sweden and Ukraine, but not England, please. hopefully England will progress before then. But Switzerland against Spain is the game on first game on Friday, and will Switzerland go through yet again? We'll wait and find out. But from all of us here, thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.